It's now down to 23.75, but there's 2 million of interest, so there's going to be some liquidity on it. But I don't remember the last one we saw where the price has been consistently going down in terms of the indicated open. So maybe if that starts creeping up again, it'll look a little bit better. So we'll see you guys back at 2 o'clock. I know you're going off to the gym. And we'll throw you to Joey Options and Sharif, the professor.
Yeah. Boom! Greetings and salutations, beautiful people. Welcome to the Midday Show. That is your boy Joey Options, and I'm Sharif. And I'm in a little bit of pain, Joey. I'm hurting, Joey. No, I'm actually in pain, guys. A bit of an oblique problem, so maybe not as much energy as typically, because yelling and even talking is hurting a little bit. But shout out to everybody. We got the other Zinc. We got Market Sniper. Shout out to Hangry Wife and Sufan. Why not? Control, Alt, Escape. We got AI. We got Dangale, Esvin Riviera. We got Safe, Snowman, Ebb and Flow Portfolio. And shout out to Party P and Jason Brown Lightning as well. Thomas D. Skrill, Aziz. We got Why Not. We got Dangerous. He's so dangerous. Natalia, we got Inder Kuner, The Man, Darth Trader, Kirk D, and Shine Pros. Shout out to Hinal Patel and D. Scurf. Mike, P.D. Ryder. Who else, man? We got Kirk D. Shout out to Ross About, Lane Carter. If you're new, throw your name in the chat, guys. Traditional development, excuse me. A day in the life of Joseph Wilson. Who else? Kenny. Shout out to Tammy B. I see you, Tammy. Hope you're printing up a storm today. I hope everybody is doing well. Kind of good day for the market. I mean, we were obviously up very aggressively in the pre-market, Joey. Zigged and zagged a little bit at the open, but it looks like we're trending right back up again with your friend, the NQ, up 1 1/4. Good morning, brother.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. I hope everyone's having a fantastic session. There goes Ethereum, man. We were just in this, got out a little bit too early, but that's okay. Let's talk about what else we were trading. Oh, there it goes. Wow, what a massive pop right there. That's all right. We missed a little bit out on that one. Grabbed a little scalp on it, but let's talk about this INTC trade. Told Shree, first thing that I said to him this morning, I'm locked in, and let's get rocking and rolling here, all right? So we go INTC strong on the NVDA news. Now we go in, double it up. We do get stopped out, but guess what? We're still staying laser focused. We hop right back in, take a little bit more off. I don't know why I specifically got out here, but anyways, I hop back in, scalp, get all out again, and then hop back in, boom, 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 boom. We take it to the top side, and then eventually I get stopped out, break even, and looking like it wants to run right now. That was INTC. Now, my folks, the trade of the day. That is going to be IBIT. Now, let's go in full size right off the gate. And there it is, boom, we start to piece them out, and then I finally got all out right there. And I told you guys I'm going to be looking to take out some more than I usually did. Even though I was like 5% at a time, as I got higher, I was taking more, 20, 20, 20. Once it broke this support level, I did take off the half of what I had remaining, and then we pieced it all the way up here. So that was a really good trade. Now, as for Ethereum, let's go. I mean, we were long at VWAP, get the little pop, nothing substantial, and then I'm just like, all right, it comes back against me, outbreak even. Could have held it a little bit longer, it was working. Now let's see if it can go and test the high of the day. Let's go Gorev, let's go Beyond Control, let's go Los Pollos, and the man, no, you're the man. What do you got, Shree?
Oh, we're good, man. We're involved in a few trades right now. CDLX, kind of see a double bottom there at 220 above the 10 EMA, so we're involved in this one at 34, is a little bit out of the money on this. NVNI looks like it's coming back into VWAP. Very small position on this one, though, because it's quite slow, so I didn't trust it, and I didn't trust the illiquidity, but I'm really focusing right now on this one. ORBS seems to have support off the 20 moving average. We've wet the beak a couple of times. We're up into 14s. We're long at 78s, but it's having trouble reclaiming that $14 level. And now that it's trading below the 10 EMA, it seems to be using the 10 EMA on the 5 as a resistance level. I'm talking about ORBS. It's up about 27%. High of the day's 1596, topping tail candle into that level. It looks like the real resistance level on on this is 15, as nary a print has closed above that 15 level. I'm talking about closing, not printing. So it did obviously wick above that. We just got stopped out of NVNI, so we'll leave that one as it's lost the volume weighted average price. So I will be focusing now all my attention on CDLX to hold up above the 10 EMA as well as ORBS. Those are the ones I'm focusing on the most, guys. So if you have any other small cap gappers, tag me. I see a whole bunch here on my side chart that I haven't been involved with yet, namely LWLG. There's also HOVR. AIIO is a holdover from yesterday, as well as NFE. QSI on the top right of your screen as well, coming into the area high. So there's a whole bunch going. Let's just see which ones are going to have the strongest continuation, and then we'll get involved with those. But we're already involved with a couple over here, Joey, so we're going to continue to monitor those.
Good look there, brother. All right, guys. So yeah, just looking at some of these charts, you got a little aggressive push here, but it's buying right back up. That's a positive signal of strength. We like that in Ethereum. So I mean, I have these contracts and they're not doing too well, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm slightly green on them, but at the end of the day, they're not appreciating like the IBIT ones. So we'll continue to hold on to them. Got to be careful of Theta, and I mean, that's nothing that I have to worry about just yet, considering they don't expire until March. But we want to be cautious and see what's going on, because if I rotate out of them, I want to get into something either significantly stronger, right? So we're going to continue to hold on that front. The volume keeps stepping in here in the crypto space. You're seeing a lot of volume anomalies. There we go. We got it out there, Sharif. So there to support level. Now you're having volume kick in right at a key support level, as I just mentioned. But now let's see how we react around this. If it cracks it to the downside, this wick low, maybe you get that move back in towards the volume weighted average price, considering that Ethereum is already there. And we're not too far off, but it is tracing relatively well. Other than that, I'm going to be on sniper mode for the remainder of the session and look for those prime time opportunities. I was looking at Google as well. I know Katina Man was trading that one. Relatively weak. I think the market would be significantly stronger if it started to participate, but watch out for INTC. The way it's consolidating right at VWAP, I have a feeling it's going to break and then potentially punch through that previous high of the day and the pre-market highs. Look at this massive breakout that you're experiencing and the length of this consolidation. What does that mean? The longer the consolidation, usually the bigger the measured move is, right? The bigger the move you're going to get. So I'd be looking for a continuation within INTC for the next couple of days.
Now you're speaking my language, bro. I love that when he busts out the TA there. Get it, my guy. All right, guys, we're doing it freaking live. We're doing it live. CDLX is breaking out, guys. Here we go. We're taking prints. We're waiting at 54s. I'm seeing 53 right now on the level 2, and there it goes into the high of the day. Oh, no, not quite. Sorry, 62s. I misspoke, is the high of the day. We're now waiting at 58s, and then we're going to wait above that high of the day at 63. Come what may. Oh, I'm going to get stopped out of another position over here, though. We already got stopped out of ORBS. That ended up losing the level, so we'll take some on one and give back on another. That is the cost of doing business. ORBS will be a loser for me over here. My biggest loser on the day, might I add. Well, we just started the day, so hopefully that won't be indicative of how the rest of the day is going to go. So I'm going to try to focus on the ones that are really going. ORBS is going, but it's going to the downside. I'm a long-only small cap trader. So that means I'm only looking for the ones that are heading to the north side. So this one is heading to the north side. But I also want to call out another one that my friend Joe in the chat, not Joe next to me, but another Joe, I forget his name. Let me call him out over here because I should give him credit for this. Joe something or another. Where is it? Let me just search because I want to call him out. Joe. Come on, show yourself.
What's his name?
I can't find it. All right,
Mazzilli?
Yeah. Yes, Mazzilli. Yes. I wanted to call him out because this is a good call out by him. BREA is the ticker that he pointed out to me, and this one is insane. Okay. Here we go. We're halted to the upside now on BREA at exactly $22.73. The halt time, 11:08:32. This is a Nasdaq stock, so we will have eyes on the top during the halt. The top is 24.51, so substantially higher than the 22.73 area that we're looking at. So good look for this one. Now it's a multiple halter, okay? So it halted before at around 18 and change. Now it's halted at 22 3/4. It doesn't have a lot in the way of volume because it's halting to no end. 372,000 shares traded so far. And yeah, it really looks like as if the volume started coming in at about 5 till 11. That's when we got a volume spike there of around, I think, about 500,000 shares, give or take. So that's going to be one I look at. BREA is the ticker, up almost 200%. But as I mentioned, man, there are others that are going. Let's get to them. LWLG into the high of the day at 366. There's also QSI into the high of the day. AIIO also is into the high of the day. So be on the lookout here, guys. These small caps are continuing to run. You know, they're not the quadruple digits and the triple digits we've been seeing, you know, maybe over the last couple of weeks, but certainly in play. So we're going to be keeping an eye on these ones, and let's see what goes to the long side.
Absolutely, guys. All right, let's take a look at some of the top performing sectors. I know it's bright and early, so let's get that rocking and rolling. Now we have the tech sector leading the way, up 1.8%. Industrials up 0.6, and then we have the financials up a fifth. Materials going to be that third last, down 4.4, and then we have consumer staples down 3/4, and then the energy sector almost down 1%. Now on the week, let's see what we got. Who's leading the way? That's going to be the Nasdaq, Sharif, up 2.6%. IWM sitting in that second place, up 2.5%. And then we got the SPY and the Dow, 1.5%, and then 1.25 there. So not too bad. A good look on the month. IWM is blowing everyone out of the water, up 6%. That is huge. Beautiful stuff. That's what we like to see. Now, my guy, Stevenson, caught 1,200% on Intel 27 call October contract this morning. Let's do this.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's
spinning the money already.
Yeah. Well, that was for our guy Stevenson. He's cleaning up over there. And I caught 302% on Q's long off 200-day at work. Sweet Jesus, yeah, let's go, bang, nice. We'll spin the money for you one more time there.
Money.
Yeah, it's pure money over there. It's borderline this, Sharif. We're getting into those neck of the woods. Now keep an eye out on INTC just in case it wants to break out. You obviously want to get in at the lower end of the range and try to avoid buying the breakout until the volume steps in, Sharif.
All right, guys, I'm still waiting for BREA to open up. The halt time is 11:08:32, so the earliest this will be open is 11:13:32. So let's take a look at the atomic clock. It's 11:13:02, so we've got about 30 seconds left to go, but I see QSIs at the day high as well as LWLG. I just want to take a gander here. The top is showing 26. This is all sorts of crazy, okay? Ireland-based holding company focusing on Hispanic social impact in football, developing global portfolio, and just want to see if they're doing anything with crypto. Soulmate will announce that it will become Soulmate following oversubscription. What the hell is Soulmate? I don't know what the hell this headline is. Something to do with Soulmate. I just don't even want to look at it because I want to wait till it opens up here so I can see.
Look at something for you?
It's fine, brother. We can look at the headline in a little bit. Okay, it doesn't look like it's going to open up at 32. Go ahead, Adara.
I think Soulmates is a cryptocurrency. It's SOL, right? Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it is crypto hoarding.
Yeah, I mean,
okay, that makes sense.
That I'm seeing.
That makes pure sense. Thank you, Adara. I just didn't want to bother looking because I want to focus on the opening, but it's not going to open. Okay, so we've seen this before. Okay, we have seen this before. QQQ, CWS, BMNR, all the names that we've been seeing, fly high lately, mostly have been crypto hoarding names, whether they have anything to do with the blockchain or they're just adding crypto onto their treasury balance sheet. The corporate treasuries, that's really all that matters. I like this name. I'm going to keep my eye on it. I know it's highly dangerous, but I've seen this story before and I want to ride the trend. So we're going to wait until this opens up. Earliest it will be is 1:18:32, as it looks like it will be a 10-minute halt. Currently the time, 1:14:44. So we've got some time here to make the decision. So I'm going to keep my eye on this. And as it develops, or as we wait for it to open, I'm just going to click through this. Okay, BREA Holdings, BREA Holdings to become Soulmate. Soulmate intends to drive shareholder value through accumulation and staking of Solana. Marco Santori to be installed as Soulmate CEO establishes $300 million private placement to fund establishment of Solana. So they're hoarding Solana. We've seen this story before, so I'm going to be on this one. I don't know how you guys feel about these small cap gappers adding crypto onto their treasury balance sheets, but I like it. I don't like it as an investment, but I like it as a day trade. So, Joey, that's what I'm going to be focusing my eyes on.
All right, cool, good stuff. Yeah, nice work there, Gorev. Love hearing that you're putting up numbers once again there, my friend. There goes Intel. This is what we were talking about. This name potentially just grinding higher, considering the price action that we've seen in the early pre-market hours. So keep that in mind, guys. It might just be an all-day grinder, and eventually I do believe that the volume is going to step in. So one thing that I'm going to be looking for here on Bitcoin, now that we're south of VWAP, is any forms of indecision. It works once, then we may as well take another stab at it, regardless of the outcome, because that's what we got to do, right? Traders got to trade, and you got to just take those setups. There was a nice short signal on NVDA, but I just avoided it at all costs. I'm like, I don't really want to get involved in the shorting of some of these big, strong names, especially with a catalyst like it's investing in Intel, et cetera, et cetera. So for me personally, just weave that out of the playbook and focus on something else. Nadeem Jamal, what's up, brother? $2 Canadian, much appreciated for that one.
You want that? There we go.
Bang, oh, Canada, there we go. You don't have anything behind it, so you don't have to super chat again unless you would like to, but let us know your question because you have nothing behind it. But again, thank you very much for that, my friend. Now let's take a look at what we got going on here. Market's starting to come back in a little bit. Tesla been relatively good, but if you look at the first about 45 minutes to an hour of the session, a little bit more, a lot of chop, overlapping candles, and then you get that breakout eventually, but you do run into that pre-market low resistance. That was one support now acting as resistance, so keep your eye out on that. But any forms of indecision, we're getting involved in some of these names again, Sharif.
All right, still waiting for BREA to open up. Just looking at the time, it is 1:17:17. This will open at the earliest 1:18:32. Okay, 1:18. You can tell how tired I am. 11:18:32. That will be the earliest this opens, as it likely will be a 10-minute halt. I'm still watching CDLX. It's having a whole lot of trouble clearing the half dollar. What I'm trying to keep a gauge on is whether or not it's above the 10 EMA on the 5-minute chart or not. It's been defending the 10 EMA all morning, so I'd like to be able to take advantage of that trend and add into the 10 EMA. Currently showing me low 30s, if not right on 30, okay? 230, that is. Looking again over here, 1:18 on the dot. Now we've got about 32 seconds, give or take, before this one opens. The tap has substantially dropped. This was $25. Now the tap is showing 22. That's 73 pennies below the halt level. Oh no, 21.05. This is losing it in a freaking hurry. Everybody and their mother's third cousin is getting out. $20. Now 20.5 is the tap. And 19, you don't say. Oh baby, this one looks like it's gonna be a huge flush, Joseph. Okay. And there it is, dropping all the way. It's gonna halt down, Joseph. Okay. It's halting. Well, is that halting up or down? I'm gonna get in. I'm gonna get in. I'm in. No, I'm not in. Not letting me in, Joey. Oh. It's not even letting me in. We're gonna give that another try over here. And? Nope. No in. Nothing. All right. So Joseph, it ended up halting up. This thing is insane. You know why? Because it opened up at 1864, so it had halted at 2273. It ended up halting at 1864, and then before it even traded at all, it was in a halt parameter to halt at 20.5. Have you seen that before?
No.
Where you come out of a halt parameter in a down halt parameter immediately into a up halt parameter. Halt. Straight to jail.
Right away.
Okay, I need to know. Guys, have you seen this before? I personally haven't.
Overhalt, jail. Underhalt. Right away.
I like that. Good one, Joey. Good one. No, seriously. Okay, that's a new one for me. Hey, you learn something new every day. I hadn't seen that one happen. You're halted at 2273. You open up at 1864, and then immediately you're in that halt parameter where we start getting the gray out, and you're halted at 20.5. Okay. I learned something new today. Now, Let's go back to CDLX because we're still involved in that. Shout out to the dude who made $2,500 in 2 minutes on CDLX. I'm so happy for you, brother. I mean, that's kind of what these ones do, right? That's why everybody likes these ones. You can get quick percentage moves in a very short span of time, but it works both ways, okay? There's a seller here of note at 56, between 55 to 56 on CDLX. So we'll continue to watch here as we approach that high of the day, which is 262. I do like the higher low candles that we're putting in, especially with this flat top in and around 255 to high 50s. So there's currently a seller in the high 50s, but I don't know if they're going to be able to deal with this because here we go, Joseph, into the high we go. We take out the high. It's at 264 high a day right now. Here goes CDLX. We're going to clear 100% possibly. We're up to 85, 266 HOD. I hope you guys are printing on this one because it's a good setup and it's holding above the 10 exponential. Tell them what you're looking at, Adara.
I mean, Intel and NVIDIA, guys, the White House is coming out saying that the Trump administration was not involved in NVIDIA's investment in Intel. Now, we know previously as well, we did have Intel and NVIDIA. I saw a report earlier that they had already kind of stated that they were not doing this with the Trump administration. Reportedly, this deal was actually in talks prior to the criticism of new Intel CEO Lip Bhutan. But regardless here, INTC, NVDA, according to the White House, this deal was not related to the White House. Now, if people are wondering why would that even be in question, that's because the White House does have a stake in Intel. Back to you.
It's pretty. It's so pretty.
All right. It's pretty. It's so pretty.
All right, good one. Keep your eye on it. CDLX trying to squeeze into 3. I'm going to keep my eye on it. I just want to, before we go back to Joey, I want to remind everybody, BREA, the monster, up 167. It's off the highs. The high is 22.73. It halted at $20.50 at 11:18.47. It is currently 11:22.06. So the earliest we will open on BREA is 11:23.47. That is if it's going to be a 5-minute halt. But there goes CDLX again into the high of the day. It's a 276er now. We're going to pack our patience, right? I want to see a 3 squeeze or a retracement into the 10 EMA, which I'm a buyer at. Currently, the 10 EMA a little bit higher than since I last reported to you. It was at 230 prior. It is now at 240, overlapping with the volume weighted average price. So the 10 EMA is the area I'm looking to add at. Back to BREA over here. Let's take a gander, Joey, at the top, showing me $21. So currently about 50 cents higher than the halt price. Again, what we just saw on this one was it opened substantially lower, about $4 lower than where it had halted, but then halted right back up.
Sorry, Sharif. We got a Nadeem Jamal sent us another $2 super chat. Assassino. I don't know if you can do it, but play it. Trade the pool right now. If you're looking for that funded account, my friend, I think you're sitting in the right place. Well, if you see best funded account, which is reliable for payouts, I said trade the pool ad right on there. Bang, right there it is. So yeah, go check it out, guys. Trade the pool. Nadeem, you got to pass the valuation, and then sure enough, you'll be putting some cash in your pocket.
Straight cash, homie.
Cash right away. Undercook, overcook. That's it. Right away, jail. Yeah, exactly. Boom.
Everybody you don't like, straight to jail.
No trial or anything.
No trial.
Just straight to jail. There goes Intel, guys. This is what we were talking about. I think there's a lot more fuel to this trade here potentially. So keep an eye out on that one. Now also NVDA. Let's pull up the chain on that one. Chain, and see what we got going on from that front. NVDA, we know about the concentration of open interest through a specific number of strikes, and then here it is, boom, 177, 180, 182, 182 and a half, and 190. Look at all that, hundreds of thousands of contracts. Look at the volume traded on 177.5 and on 180. So you have 114 OI and then 114 closed contracts already. So that's 228,000 right there. That's some big time volume that we're experiencing. But what is the the hottest of the day. That's going to be INTC. Lots of volume starting to roll through this. The at-the-money strike, that 32 has 11,300 contracts with 46,500 in volume. So those are already closed. See you later to that one. And then that 30 strike price, look at those. Those are in the money, 63,900. Look how substantially larger it is to the rest of the open interest and the volume on this options chain. So you have 5,000, 2,000, blah, 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 whatever it may be, small numbers. Jail, 63.9, and then 57,600 in volume done on the day, Sharif.
Bang. All right, Joey, I like the look of that. Yeah. All right, I'm involved in a new trade now, LWLG. We're long here for a retracement into the 10 EMA on the 5. It's up 20.75%. I also see NFE. Shout out to Chuck of all trades, always calling out the goods. Here's what I'm looking at, guys. This is what we've got on the side chart right now. CDLX and LWLG are the ones that I'm involved in. This is BREA over here. That's continuing to be halted. It likely will be a 10+ minute halt. Oh, wow, Joey, we're taking out levels. Joey, we're taking out levels here on my friend LWLG, a whole bunch of prints to the high side. We're going to continue to watch that, but I'm still interested in getting in on QSI. QSI is all gas, no freaking brakes. It's at the $1.58 high of the day, 25% in Greensville. NFE as well, a good friend of mine. I don't even know it, but you know, any small capper up above 10% doing volume, Joey, I like to pretend is my friend. But in any event, NFE looking good here at 260, found support at the 20. It's not the best looking of the bunch. I would say that's probably QSI and maybe CDLX. ORBS, that hot garbage that put me negative on the day, it's going to lose its spot on the side chart any moment now. I'll be more than happy to take that hot garbage off. Okay. I'm a sore loser, quite frankly. So any stock that puts me in negatory land, Joey, we're gonna hate on.
Bro, we don't like them at all. Like, hey man, we're in the same boat. You already know how I roll. You know, it's, right away it's garbage, man. Like, lock it up, no trial, anything. You know what reminded me when you said NFE? It did you ever watch that? I forget the McAfee documentary.
Jason McCaffrey?
Yeah.
The running back.
No, the guy who
the guy that made the antivirus software?
Yeah.
No, I did, but I heard about it.
You never watched that
I've never seen it. No.
Oh my
I heard
God,
it's fire.
you have to watch it. It's so good. Like, what a life this guy lived. Yeah, it's insane. Go check that one out. Look at Qs, not TQs, 3-minute and 5-minute volume. Yeah, it's starting to pick up.
What thing is that on? Is that Flakes?
I don't think it's on there anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, you got the.
We all got the internet, so we'll figure it out.
You'll figure it out. We'll get that one going on there. It's the McAfee documentary, Mike Peter Ryder. You have to watch it. It's I've heard wild really story. It's such a wild story. It's really good as well too. All right, guys, we got an inverted hammer candle right there on INTC. Sorry, I have to say that I'm rubbing the mic, but I want to fix something. And there we go. We get this behind us. So yeah, we're starting to experience a little bit of selling pressure in some of these names here. Let's take a look at INTC. Started to break higher. But now we have this inverted candle right there, and then also the volume is substantially larger than anything we've seen for the past hour. Stop just a little bit higher, just in case you are looking for that move back in towards the volume-weighted average price. Crazy. Relatively strong stock, so don't look for overly deep pullbacks until you snap through some key support levels. So keep that in mind, and always keep those risk measures in place. What else do we got? Apple, not too bad. I know Gaurav was in that earlier in the day, but Tesla starting to come back in a little bit here, guys. So keep your eye out on that one. I mean, it's been strong for the past week and a half, so not too bad of a look. What do you got, Tree?
I'm waiting for BREA to open up, man. It's not opening up. Again, 118.47 is the halt time. It is currently 128. Okay, here we go. 3 seconds. There it is. It's open. Where's it going? It's going to halt up. We got it up over here. Anything below 20. Oh, my God. I have to flatten out over here. So we got halt down. Yeah, so we took a bit of a hit there on that. It's zigging and zagging aggressively. Let's see if we can get back in on that. Nope, not quite. Let's see. See if this one will give us. There. Boom. Nice. $1 winner, $2 winner. Okay, good. Nice.
You got a $2 winner?
$2 winner. Just like straight to jail.
Man.
Straight to jail. All right, there we go. It's going to halt up, Joey. Here we go. We're going to halt up at 23.74. Let's keep an eye out on this one. Very aggressive BREA 23.74 halt parameter. Let's see if it grays out. We didn't quite get the gray out yet. Zigging and zagging. There's the gray out. Wow. All right. Nice, man. 23.74 halt level tap showing 24. We got to pause for a second, send it to Adara for the crypto segment.
Yeah, it's crypto time, guys. Here's the Bitcoin on the daily chart. As you can see, this uptrend is being maintained. And we've actually broken past this level of resistance that we had crazy like a month ago now, August 22nd. This was Jackson Hole Day. We're trying to push above that Jackson Hole level. So interesting look here for Bitcoin. Let's take a look here as well at Solana and Ethereum. Solana continues to look like one of the stronger of these crypto names, pushing past resistance from Sunday, try to crack that 250 level. Let's see if it's successful in cracking back through 250. Ethereum continuing to have, even from this pop into all-time highs below 5,000, we've still seen these continued higher lows on Ethereum, even if we don't really have the higher highs quite yet. We'll take a look at XRP as well. XRP looking actually pretty similar to Ethereum, forming a base, although this base doesn't have quite the higher lows that we're seeing with Ethereum, and potentially curling here. Let's see if we can get that 3.6 level again here in XRP that we had this double top at in mid to late July. Back to you. Make sure to like and subscribe.
Yeah, let's take a look here. Someone says SMR is running.
Oh, well, Adara said Okla was up huge this morning, so that makes sense.
Yeah, look at SMR.
Oh.
Whoa. Okay, let's take a look at
Didn't these
Okla
have like a great day on Monday when
man.
you texted me these because you're just too lazy to write them down? That was fantastic. Tell everybody what you did, bro.
Well, but I didn't have a pen or anything to write anything down.
Yeah,
I'm on Katina Man's computer, so I had to message the name. Yeah, well, brother, I'm over there. I'm like, I got to get them down ASAP.
He messages me so that he can take a note. So I'm like, fantastic. What are these breakout trades?
He's like,
because they look good.
Yeah, they look good. He's like, what's the news? I'm like, I don't know, man. I need to write them down for another day. So there we go. They're added to the list.
Love it.
A nice breakout here that we're experiencing in SMR. Way to call that one out. Who called it? Let's see. We got to give credit where credit is due. I can't find them, man. Baby. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, my friend. So yeah, okay, there it is. The Silly No-No Show. All right, there it is. There's your credit, my friend. Hopefully you're in this because this is some big time volume in a massive, massive breakout. We like this. Big time moves. I wouldn't even be looking to short this name considering the strength stepping in.
Tell him, Joey.
Tell him.
All right, I'm still holding LWLG over here. Pardon me. We got the beak wet there at 69s. We're showing 70s now. Pardon me. As the high of the day. I've still got some shares on this one. Let's see how high this one wants to go. But I'm still waiting for BREA to open up. The tap now showing 23.78. We did halt at 23.74. I haven't seen all the halts today. It looked like it was halting a couple of more times before I had eyes on it. But the halts that I have seen have all been 10 minutes in length. Oh, CDLX is coming down into the 10 EMA. I have to make decisions here. Is this an add? I'm going to add here. I'm going to add small at this level. So let's see if it holds up at, this is VWAP and the 10 EMA, okay? So we added right there. Let's see if we can get a pop back up into 49. Straight to jail. Beautiful. All right, let's see if we can get a little bit more, and then we're going to layer some orders into the high side. Anything, though, below, let's go. 40 ends the trade for me. Now we've fundamentally changed our cost basis because we added at the much higher level. So let's see if we can get through that 50 penny area. That 50 penny area acting like a bit of a bugger. 52s now. We can't get 53s. I know we can't. So we'll take out some here and we'll cancel that one right there, and we'll let it trip up a little bit more, possibly into the high 50s. So CDLX coming into the 10 EMA, which is overlapping with VWAP, precipitating me to get in a little bit more over here. That I am aware it changes my cost basis, so I do have to be alive to my new stop, which is at 240. So let's go ahead and set that bad boy up. Excuse me. And then we're going to let that one go if it does lose 240. Otherwise, we're going to let it run. So that's going to be my look for now, zigging and zagging with that 50 penny area. What's my friend BREA looking like? Uh-oh. It's showing a 22.90 tap. That is a no good as we are halted at 23.74. So this one will be interesting. Keep your eye on it if you're involved or if you like these small cap trades. Not everybody does. All right, LWLG still zigging and zagging here. Looks like it got a monster red candle there, Joey, right into 369, and then down it goes into 363. That's still at the 10 EMA, but here's the deal. We have been in consolidation mode since 11:10. It is 11:34. So this is the 1 minute on. Let me flip to the 5. And so you can kind of see that consolidation a little bit better over here. See how we're kind of sideways. Oh, BREA is open. And it popped back up again. Let's see. Do we get continuation? Do we get continuation? It's not letting me in. I'm trying to chase it. I hate that. All right. So we're going to, nope. False halt there, Joey. Ooh. All right, let's see. Do we get continuation above 24, excuse me. Let's see. Let's continue to watch over here. Oh, selling off aggressively into 21.5, right back up into 22. Still up 192%. Hammer candle forming with a higher low. Let's go. Let's see if we can get in a little bit more. A little bit more. Straight to jail. Let's go. Let's see if we can pop back up. Anything, hold on. Anything above 22, below 22, I'm going to have to flatten out. Boom, into the high there, Joseph Wilson. Boom, that's another $1, just quick like that.
No way.
That's crazy. I got into 23 out of 24. Sorry. This guy, I love him when he watches the small caps. He's like, I'm going to trade small caps.
Yeah.
No, there we go. So good deal here on BREA as this one continues to give. Be on the lookout, though. It can quickly take away from you, like CDLX just took away from me, Joseph. Ooh. Thankfully, we went the beak here, but it does break 40, so we will get stopped out of that. So I have to be alive to that as well. And LWLG about to lose the 10 EMA on the 5. That is my invitation to get out. Now, if it does come in to about 3.5, I want to say between 3.5 to 3 mid-40s. And the reason I say that is because VWAP on LWLG is at 45, and we know the psychological level of support is going to be 50. So that will be my look there, okay? I'm going to keep my eye on it. Rob's Weather and News channel halted again, Sharif. I do know that, brother. I have it on my side chart. There it is. Halted down again, BREA. So we didn't overstay our welcome on that one, Joey, because if we did, well, we would be substantially out of the money. So that's the way these ones work.
Yep. It's how they work, man. Now off to Ollie with the weather. It's raining. For those who knows where that's from, so shout out to Rob's Weather and News channel. All right, guys, so we got a couple trend lines holding up right here, Let's see if those come intact. If they snap to the downside, we might see some more in the crypto space, so keep an eye out on that one there. It's raining. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what they say there in the good old Family Guy. As for anything else, guys, I do want to get involved into Bitcoin a little bit more here, but I want to be patient because what I'm seeing from a price action standpoint is that this downtrend is still fully intact, even though we are holding the uptrend as well. So there, boom, boom. So you have those consistent higher lows. I told you. Yeah.
Straight
bro.
to
Nice, man.
Thanks,
nice work, bro. There it is. It's raining sideways. So there it is, holding up this level relatively well, but you can see that we're consistently forming lower highs, including. So be patient on this one. Ethereum, hopefully it gets rolling, man. These contracts are just relatively flat for me. I'm not up too much on them. But there it is, not as strong as Bitcoin. Even though they both came back, it's holding up VWAP better, but I think the price action earlier was significantly better for me personally, for IBIT. Now, as for INTC, watch out for the top end of this candle to be broken. If it does, I would suspect that we're going to climb a little bit higher, so around 32.25. Yo, okay, yeah, we're going to look at that. I think I missed a super chat as well, so we'll pop onto that. Okay, no, we didn't. One word, winning, Charlie Sheen voice. I don't know that one, Von Clerk. I was never a big fan of...
What?
Yeah, I was never a big fan of 2.5 Men.
Oh, man, I love 2.5 Men. That's why I kept trying to draw the comparisons with BREA.
BREA?
His housekeeper. And again, if you don't watch the show,
I don't watch it.
There's a lot of overlap, my man.
Oh, yeah?
Hey, the sullen attitude.
Oh, yeah?
All right. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff that I can say, but I'm just not going to say it.
And then INTC. And then ZETA. Yeah, let's take a look at that one for my friend over here. Let's get this back in its place. Now, Kirk Poi, Joe, what do you think about the January 26th $25 call option? I bought for $1.47, trading at $2.05. Looks like buy program on this name. Let's take a look. Oops. Right away.
Straight to Joe.
Dude, we don't want to go to the DAX. What is that? We don't want to see any of that. No, it's looking pretty good. Nice hammer candle right there. Now let's pull up the chain and see what we got going on from that front. You said October or January 26th. Let's pull up those. I want to see what the chain's looking at. Like here, we'll get up to ZETA first, and then we'll pull it up for you guys. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. All right, yeah. October or January, so why do I keep saying that? We'll go January 26th. These aren't too bad. I mean, the volume is there, right? So you got a little bit, nothing substantial, but you won't complain about that. Look at the open interest at that specific strike, though. You're talking about it. It's there. So the street must be intrigued about that specific level on that strike price. Considering, look at the nearer dated, right? So you go to January, doesn't have nearly as much open interest, but those ZETA calls in January have 10,000 contracts currently outstanding. So not too bad of a look. There goes Intel breaking through that previous high of that candle. There goes Ethereum bouncing off the trend line. Not too bad of a look. We like it. Off to Adara, guys.
Keep an eye here on the market. It's Trump administration asking the Supreme Court of the U.S. to allow Donald Trump's firing of Fed's Lisa Cook. So again, this Lisa Cook issue is being taken to the Supreme Court. Back to you. Or they're asking them to.
One more time, Adara. Sorry, I didn't have the thing on.
Basically, that whole firing, the Trump administration is asking the Supreme Court to review it now. Okay. So does it look like they've approved that they're going to review it yet? But that request has been made.
Amazing. Thank you, Adara, for that. Yeah, I didn't hear it because I didn't have the thing on. I appreciate that, Adara. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see how that all works out. Joey, we know the Supreme Court has accepted his appeal from the tariffs. Right, to hear it early, likely going to get a decision in November. If they hadn't agreed to hear it early, we would have been probably a June decision, which is typically when the Supreme Court drops all their decisions at the year end before they go on the summer holiday. We'll wait and see exactly what happens there. BREA is open again, guys. It's still tradable under my system because it is still above the volume weighted average price, which is at $22. So, $20 is where we're holding VWAP right now. We basically got a candle of indecision. There's a whole lot of chop and churn, Joey. I haven't seen this much kind of indecision, but up we go again into 23. 24.05 is the high of the day. This gives you dollars in seconds, okay? If it can give you dollars in seconds, it can take dollars in seconds. So please trade it carefully. We're trading at 23 and change. It looks like it's going to take 23, Joey, for a high of the day, showing a halt parameter at 23.70. False halt momentarily, dips back down into that $0.50, but that $24 area is a staunchy little bugger, as that is generally the high of the day. 24.05 is the high of the day, so that $24 area is very, very rigid. It's not allowing the price action to ascend above it. So we're going to continue to watch and see where the right area to get in is, but it feels all sorts of strong. If you picked it up on the dip trade like I did the last couple of times, you were likely in the money very quickly as the dips are getting bought up aggressively. And by aggressively, I mean $2-3 at a time. So it's up 205% now, but not well off the highs, but it is off the highs. And there is the new high of day, Joseph. And I'm going to keep saying that because here's another high day, 24.84, false halt. We make another high day, 24.85, sorry, is what's showing up on the ask side of the level 2. So this one is going to halt if we continue in this position for a few more seconds, and then we'll get the gray out. BREA. Again, crypto hoarding names. They are in vogue at the moment. The market is buying them up at least on an intraday basis. It doesn't really have to make sense. Just play the price action and manage risk as you can. So we're going to keep an eye out on this one, Joey. I'd like to execute on it again if I can. We've seen these get to 1,000%. No problem. That is amazing, SSE. Is that you? Chilean Nightmare, man. The Chilean Nightmare right there, guys, because Joseph and I sometimes forget to put these on. There you go, in real time. Get into the chat right now. Vote for your favorite tickers every day. Your friend Advanced Money Destroyer destroying money today, down to 3 1/5, Joe, because of what's going on over there with Intel and NVIDIA.
Yeah, that deal. So guys, make sure you get those dollar signs in there and place those votes. We're in some Ethereum right now. Yeah, I think tomorrow's quad witching, so watch out for that. Come the open, you're going to see a lot of volume stepping in, especially in some of the bigger names. Check the open interest in which I displayed this morning. We had in the likes of, I believe it was Apple, Open, and then SPY. You want to some names that are putting in some massive volume. You obviously want to continue to stick with them and see what they do out of the gate, and you're going to see some substantial flow coming in. I'm in some Ethereum, giving it really, really tight risk to see if we can get rocking and rolling. Nothing substantial either, right? So we want to be patient before we put on some size. I think IBIT is a little bit stronger, but I wouldn't be surprised if we curl over and curl up and get the ball rolling in the crypto space. We know that a couple days earlier in the week and last week, it took some time for them to get moving. But I mean, once the blood was flowing, things were, ow, I just got a little pinch in my back there.
I'm sorry for that, brother. I know how that feels.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll be patient to see what we got going on. As long as we don't construct a new low of the day, we're in play. All right, so, shout out to Weed says...
well, remember Adara was saying that Weed was pretty strong yesterday.
MSOS was strong.
Yeah, dude. Grow Generations, GRWG, 8 3/4. Joey, Tilray 2, CGC 2.5. The ETFs are weak though. They're both negative. SOS and OS and OX are both weak. So Cron as well is up, Joey, 3%. ACB. Another 3%. We're at $5 now, baby.
Say, brother, are we at 1,300 yet, or no? Because that's what your boy needs to even break, just to break even on Aurora Cannabis. I need it to go up to $1,300. Other than that, it's just a complete tax write-off at this point. So I'm going to have to bring that to the accountant this year. We still got some time, man. We don't got to get ours done until March, I think, March, April. So we don't want to procrastinate on that. We'll get ahead of the ball there considering. But there goes Ethereum, starting to get a little bit of a pop. Once we break through the top end of this range, I think that we can continue to climb and potentially test the high of the day. If it cracks this support system, I'm going to be looking for more downside.
Well said, Joey. All right, we're back into LWLG. We're going to see if this one wants to hold up at around these levels. I'm still involved over here in NFE. For continuation, getting me out is the break of the prior area low. So prior trough holds up at 44, 43. It loses that. It loses trend, and it's no longer of interest to me. So we're going to continue to watch that. CDLX, though, I want to point out, is continuing to put in higher lows for what feels like could be yet another breakout. This has been a bamboozler in chief, though, let me tell you, because every time it seems like, it's putting in those higher highs, higher lows. It's met with aggressive selling at random areas that I didn't predict, okay? So that's what we're going to watch now. We're involved in it again over here. Let's see if we can get a nice little move up on this CDLX. Prior bar low on CDLX is 31, so we don't have to risk that much here in order to kind of try to see if we can ride trend. So that's what we'll do, throw in that stop right there. Let's see how my friend LWLG is doing. Okay, good, holding up at least initially off the 20, but using the 10 now, sadly, as resistance. That's not what we're in this for. We're in for a nice little move to the high side over here. So keep tabs on that. And then I also want to let you know BREA halted at 11:43.10. It is 11:47. So the earliest it will open is 11:48.10. Unlikely, though, to open at that time because all the halts that we've seen so far have been 10 minutes. So it's likely going to be 11:53.10. We'll keep an eye on that and we'll report on it for you. NFE, just going back to this one, it's dropping back down again. If it loses 43.40, this is the area trough, I get out. That's simple. We're not going to DCA into VWAP. VWAP on NFEs at 36, so that's not really the move. We're already out of the money. If it holds up at 46, I'll add it this low, but I need to see some greenery here, Joseph.
All right, good look there. Let's take a look at our good friend Evan Flow's INTC calls. I know he's killing.
BREA is open.
All right.
BREA is open, Joey, and it made another high of the day, 27.44. We're dropping now, though, a little bit. Oh, wow. A lot of aggression right now on BREA. 27.44 high. Looks like this candle did bounce off 22.50. It's a candle of indecision, but let's see. Does this one run? It's got all sorts of strength, man. 214%. Basically zigging and zagging at 25 right now. Let's see what we can get on this one. I just want to point that out, Joey. Sorry.
No worries. All right, guys, Bitcoin is on the back end of that trend here, so you can see it snapping that downside. We like that look. Why didn't I would have preferred, right? Because this has been the better, a slightly stronger crypto name. So if I were to get in at the lower end of the range when I was looking at, don't hesitate, just take the shots. Boom, there. And then now you're on the backside. So let's see if that can be sustained. Now let's get into what my boy Ebbs and Flow has been up to and see what he's got going on. I mean, you're making money on IV alone. That's fire, right? Up 153%. That's the at the money, and those expire tomorrow after the close, 4:05 to be exact. And then you have 11,800 volume at that 40 strike price, 19,500 current open contracts. But where's the largest amount of OI? Look at this. Who had these 26 calls, man? This is insane. They're starting to close, but then you also have 46,600. Sharif.
Time, brother.
Okay, I thought you were
take your time. I'm pumped, but you take your time. Yeah.
Bang. There goes Ethereum. We're starting to get a little pop in the crypto space. Bitcoin climbing once again. Mara, $19.25. Yeah, let's go. Up 11 cases. Pathik, brother.
Get it, Pathik.
You've been obviously talking about Mara for quite some time. I'm glad that you've stuck to your guns, and it's paying off. That's some beauty stuff. 11K, we love those days. You know what I'm going to say.
What are you going to say?
Don't spend it all in one place, all right? You obviously want to go to different stores and spend it there, because one place you want to diversify, right? So just a little bit, obviously being slightly sarcastic on that one. Save 90% of it, spend the other 10%, have a little bit of fun, and pay yourself out. All right, guys, $30, 63,900, 61,400 contracts already closed. So bang, those 30 strike prices looking really, really juicy on INTC.
It was one before.
Oh, now you're 3?
Look, bro, it's right here.
It's right there.
24 long, 27-ish. Oh, it's not exactly
Hold on.
3, but it's close to the 3. BRE freaking A. It continues to give, guys. Here we go. We're near highs 25.50, 25.60. The high of the day is 27.44. Good strength on this one, but just keep your eye on it because it can flip the script. Now, why I'm still bullish on it is because where it is relative to the indicators. You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the 10 EMA. I'm talking about the volume weighted average price. And more important than all of those is the trend of the higher highs and higher lows. Bulls are still in control, or so it seems. Keep your eye. Here we go again, moving into 27s, Joey.
Okay.
We could see that high day break any moment now. 242%, still rejecting 27, so we'll continue to watch and we'll report on it back for you. All right, let's see what the other one is doing over here. LWLG, I swear this was just up a little bit more. I'm not sure why it's not dropping there. We'll keep an eye on that. And then the other one that we're involved in, CDLX, looking for this one to kind of continue with the higher lows. And here we go, taking out 48s. We're waiting at 49s. Let's see if the buyers can step in here on CDLX, or have all the degens left this. Like myself, I'm one of those degens. Have they left this one for greener pastures? And I literally mean that. Greener freaking pastures on BREA. There is another high of day, Joseph. 27.75, sorry, $28 now. All gas, no breaks right now on BREA as it closes in at 300%. We are awfully close, now trading in the high 200s. I'm going to continue to watch this, and then wherever I see the best opportunity to get in, I will execute. Looks like there is a halt parameter here coming in, Joey. Okay. We're going to halt again at 27.83 if we continue in this fashion for a few more seconds. False halt. We drop back down into the $0.50, but here's that halt parameter again, showing its ugly head at 83, at 83s, 27.83. Boom! The algos know more than everybody. Right up to 28.19, Joey. They know when that halt parameter triggers and then deactivates, because they're obviously basing it on a timer. So we'll keep an eye out on that, and we'll continue to trade it if it's. I know I keep saying I can keep an eye on it, but I mean, well, there's not much else I can do.
Not much.
So yes, tennis life, fake halt, BREA. We call it fake halt, false halt, synonyms. Potato, potato.
Potato, potato, tomato, tomato. Yeah, guys, there goes Apple curling over and heading to the downside, dragging the overall market with it. Tesla slightly weak on the day, and NVDA coming off of the highs. So keep an eye out on some of those mega names. And there we are, still sitting in Ethereum, waiting for this one to continue to climb higher. Now, beyond their control, let's mention again Mara. It's a steal. The hodl bag of BTC is 90% of the market cap. The entire operations, mining machine, software engineering agreement, etc., only costs you 5% of the price. Stack. Okay, very interesting. I mean, we've been talking about Mara for some time. Well, I mean, not for some time. Oh, wow. Okay, this thing is just absolutely off to the races. Beautiful stuff, man. And like we see the likes of Mara doing this. What happened last time? So on this day, Bitcoin was lagging, and then eventually it just decided to rip. So hopefully we get the same thing. We get that identical pattern. Patience on Bitcoin, wait for that trend hold to continue its spot, and then maybe we can get a breakthrough the high of the day. That's going to be absolutely fantastic. Who's still on the steady grind? That's going to be INTC. But first, let's take a look at the daily. Boom, we mentioned this. As soon as that 16 was cracked, it's been off to the races. And guess what? You got the volume supporting it as well, too. So that's an amazing look. Let's get back down to the 5-minute time frame and see what INTC is doing. Now, what a grind. Hammer candle right off of the lows, and then sure enough, if only, I was gonna sing a song from Holes if you guys know what it is, but I'm not going to. Anyways, do you remember? Did you ever read that book, Holes?
No.
Oh, it's like I guess it was more or less mine.
Holes, like HOLES?
Yeah.
No,
with and then they made a movie about it with Shia LaBeouf.
Oh,
yeah.
no, I don't know.
It's good stuff.
Darren knows, Neil knows. I have no idea.
Neil, you know that book, movie? You know the movie? Yeah, the book is pretty good as well, too. I know Darren and I have talked about it, so it goes...
The cast for the movie is actually iconic, though, beyond Shia. Sigourney Weaver is in this as well.
Oh, I know her.
And also Dule Hale, if anybody watched Psych, the guy from Psych is in that as well.
So yeah, it goes if only...
I just like Sigourney Weaver because of her thing there in Heartbreakers, because, well, I just used to love Jennifer Love Hewitt when she was young. Yeah. Oh, my God.
Okay, all right.
Oh, my God.
All right.
Big young boy crush.
Big
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Yeah, I don't know who was... I think Rachel Zane, a.k.a. Meghan Markle, was my crush when I was a little bit younger, watching Suits. Because and then that's what I did. I changed it. You know when everybody was changing their last name on Facebook? I changed mine to Joseph Zane just in honor of Rachel. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we like that one. Yeah, what do you mean, man? Come on.
All the wonder years.
So, but yeah, other than that, Intel looking pretty good. Let's see what Ethereum still hovering around there, consolidating. But I like that Mara's moving. Maybe we'll get a little bit of a laggard move here in IBIT, and then we can go off to the races.
She was trendline, man. I know. Oh, come on, Arscarito. Why would you say stuff like that, bro?
What did Arscarito say?
Weird. All right, please move the hammer. It doesn't look good. This is the band hammer, bro. Like it's out there to send a message. All right. Oh, the position. Oh, I see.
I think.
Yeah.
I vote we get that hammer out of here, man.
I don't know. I kind of like it that way. What do you think?
I don't like the hammer at all.
You don't like the hammer?
No, man.
Why, bro?
It's
like a gavel.
It's stuff. You know what I mean? I don't like.
We're in order right now, my boy. What did you say, Asesino? It was a gift. Yes. Ram tried to take it yesterday, and she was pulling it from my hand. I don't know why she gets so aggressive sometimes.
Yeah, didn't she go she went like this? She was like, all right.
Bro, she was trying to straight up pull it out of my hand. All right, let's look at MRVL. I promised somebody I would look at MRVL. I asked you the time frame, brother. I don't think you tagged me again to let me know what time. She's coming again to take it. No, Ram. Why do you want it?
She want to hold it. There goes Ram.
I love Ram. She's good times. Let's have a look at MRVL. So I know that MRVL's been all sorts of strong lately, and it is up 4% today. Shout out to the Katina man who was buying this one in the long term there, Joey. We know he was picking it up. All right, let's look. So this is the multi-day time, a 5-minute time frame multi-day. Let's flip to the 15. Yeah, ever since that earnings report back on the 28th of August, we bottomed out at $60. That bottom ended up coming on the 2nd of September. Since the 2nd of, look at this, Joey. Yeah. Since the 2nd of September, MRVL has been a symphony of higher highs and higher lows, okay? And we're almost back to that pre-earnings report level. So we were trading around 76 bucks, 75 bucks prior to earnings. You can kind of see that at around here. Yeah, we were around 75. And guess what? The high of the day today is 75, even though we're trading at 73.93 right now. That's a good recovery, man. So good look for MRVL. Let's look at the daily. Kind of get Ram. Come on, bro.
Like
she brought the sticky things where all the bugs get caught.
There's one. How many bugs are on there?
A menace to society. Jesus. But here's the deal. Assassino, let's show them this. She's such a menace to society. We're still rejecting the 200 exponential on the daily. So the orange line is the simple moving average, and the blue line, the purple line is the simple, and the blue line is the exponential. And I keep it on my daily chart just to see, because you don't really know which one the price action may respect. So I throw both of them on there. So yeah, we're rejecting that 200 EMA. Let's get up above it. If we clear $85, I think this is going to squeeze, because that's at local area high. We'll have a squeeze likely into 100. Look at this area over here back in early 25. It looks like late January, where we used $100 as support. So if we can clear $85, I like the look of this one. Maybe to the high side over here into that $100 area. BREA is open again, and here it goes. It's $30 now, Joey. $31, 300%. This is the trade. This is the trade. These companies that are putting crypto onto their corporate treasuries are what's happening. They're in vogue. They exceed all the other ones. I mean, I don't see anything doing the kind of action that BREA is doing, and there's really known with that headline. So BREA is going to halt again at 31.55, 11:59.58, just 2 seconds to noon. And with having said that, we will now send you to Happening Now, the Dare, and then Neil's lesson of the day.
Hi guys, I'm also seeing reports here before we get into Happening Now that Donald Trump, president of the U.S., is seeking to speed larger power projects to meet AI demand. So maybe keep an eye on some of these AI and power names. Nasdaq, as you guys can see here, super consolidative right now, though certainly up on the day. We did have that press conference between Keir Starmer, Prime Minister of the UK, and U.S. President Donald Trump earlier today. They did talk a little bit about AI and quantum. So a bit on watch there, but really not to the extent that we were hoping or expecting, especially when you consider the fact that we did have all of these meetings with these business executives, including Apple CEO Tim Cook and NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang. They all had dinner last night. Now to transition, speaking of Jensen Huang of NVIDIA, guys, stay tuned for 1 p.m. Eastern. Intel and NVIDIA are doing a joint press conference at 1 p.m. I've already registered for this virtually, so I will certainly be watching that and keeping you all apprised as to how that's going and what's happening there. As you guys can see, INTC has been in a revenue slump for the past 4 years. Let's see if this investment from NVIDIA, this $5 billion investment from NVIDIA, plus the stake that the U.S. government has in INTC, can help turn things around. I want to mention quantum one more time here as well. Rigetti was on watch today. IO and Q on watch today. They each had their own individual catalysts, and quantum being mentioned again, as I mentioned, by U.S. President Donald Trump. So lots on watch here, regardless of what sector you're looking at. Chips, though, especially hot. And with that in mind, we're going to send you over to Neil and his lesson of the day. So without further ado, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and tune in for the lesson.
Thank you, as always, Adara. And lesson of the day is when things gap up, people like to talk about gaps getting filled, and sometimes you can anticipate there'll be some sell action because people are taking profit, but when do you try to put the bias toward the long? There's one thing about trying to find where the stock is going to bottom out. Fair enough, you can find a level, sometimes you can sniper in. But I want to discuss is where you can look to favor the long as opposed to just catch the low. Because I'll admit on Novo, I like the continuation play. There were no levels once it lost VWAP that I was that interested in for long. And I was looking back at after getting into Intel, okay, well, how could we have done it on Novo? And I'll get to what you did do, but it's also what you should have done and where the opportunity might lie. Now, where would I flip and think, okay, you're selling off clearly at the open. There was one big green candle. Could you catch that bid? Maybe. But I'm not concerned about that. I think the first look would be right in here when it breaks this wedge. Now, I'm not sure if you're really quick, I think you can have this break if you're eyeballing this little consolidation. You might have that breakout. The other way to think of it is two things. Once this is that break of the trend, the first dip support, I favor longs from that price, and then where it broke out from. You only have two levels. One where it broke the trend, and then the first dip available area. So fair enough, you get here and it breaks out, second time doesn't work, but then it dips, and you can favor the long back into this 61.25, because now you've got a level to work off of. But if it doesn't hold that level, you get out of dodge. Intel was another example as well, where it was a massive upside spike and a similar break of the downward trend, holds VWAP, and then favor longs. I'm not saying I'm going to get every single long, but every time it consolidates, holding support levels, holding this level, I want to buy the dip back into it as long as it holds that trend. So let it sell off at the open, let it settle down, let it form a wedge or a consolidative pattern, and when it breaks out of that wedge or pattern, then you can favor the long side of the trade. That's what I want to be concerning myself with almost every single time. You're not always going to get that bottom when a stock gaps up and starts selling at the open, but you can flip to favoring the long or getting into the long at the right time and then set yourself up for a potential relief rally, because it's up for a reason. A lot of times when they gap up, once people have finished taking profit, you can resume on the trade. I just want to give one update here, because I didn't take the print on, what is it, Netscope? Netscope. I didn't take the print on it. I can tell you, I don't think I would have won, because it actually went down initially after opening at 23, but now to the upside about 50 pennies if you took the opening print. But it did rinse first. So it rinsed down first, and then now going to the upside is NTSK. Solid volume, but not a huge move. 30, 40 cents to the upside since that open price is about as good as you could have gotten. I didn't take it.
Thank you very much, Neil. Yes, it is open. NTSK on the NQ. Netscope. I think I'm going to call it Netscape probably 100 times today. I am 100, so I do remember Netscape and the glory days before Microsoft Internet Explorer ruined it with the automatic packaging. We all know the story. They got slapped with an antitrust lawsuit. Shout out to Janet Reno. I remember you, girl. Get it. All right, so we're going to continue to watch this. $23.04, Joey, with a high a day, I believe, at $23.50. It did open up right at $23.10. Right at $23. So that the opening print, $23, the high, $23.50. The low looks like here, $22.35. So we'll keep an eye on this for you. It was oversubscribed at the IPO level, and it opened at, so they had two ranges, 15 to 17, then 17 to 19. 15 to 17 was not high enough, and then 17 to 19 was a subsequent range, and 19 was the actual price. It ends up opening at 23, so above the $19 area. Let's see if it holds it. The $19 level will be an important level, because that is technically the IPO price. So keep your eye on this one. We're getting a lot of IPOs lately. I happen to love it. And a lot of them come live on the midday, so I love that even more. All right, Joey, we're in NFE. We're continuing to hold our NFE position, but we're doing well here on LWLG after that ad. Coming back into about 66s. We're waiting at 67s, showing me 66 currently on the 5. BREA is halted again to the upside, 31.55. As I mentioned, the halt time, 11:59.58. So the earliest this will open is 12:09.58. Let's see if it does. Last but not least, Joey, we're still holding CDLX over here, looking for this move above the volume weighted average price and a continuation of the higher lows, brother.
Yeah, good look there, brother. All right, so we're still sitting in this grind. I'm glad that I haven't added to this, considering I think Bitcoin's a little bit stronger. I was looking to get involved in this name at these lows, and I just never pulled the trigger. So again, you got to take those shots, right? You miss 100% of the ones that you don't take. It's that simple. Like, the statistics are there. I don't think it gets any more complicated than that, Sharif. So
I really don't think it does, Joey.
No, man, it literally doesn't. So like, if you don't shoot it, the chances of you missing are 100%, right? So just in case you guys hit the now you know for me there, Assassino.
He's gonna get it right away.
Hold on, we're waiting for it. Now there you go. The more you know.
Assassino's quick with it,
He's quick with it. So there it is, guys. That is the statistic of the day. So yeah, all right. Ethereum's still within this consolidation. We're gonna hold it until it breaks this downtrend. we get a 5-minute candle opening up on the back side of it, we're out of this one, all right? So boom, see you later to that. And my calls are just flat on this one, right? So I still have shares and calls, but these calls ain't doing too much, and I'm just like, we can do something, right? So I'm do something there. So we only have a couple of them really, but yeah, Bitcoin substantially better, literally 10 times, and then we're still sitting in a couple of shares of ETHA from 27.
Jeez.
All right, so Palantir coming off of the highs. See, the thing is, though, I think this market might slowly start to curl over. How deep is the pullback going to be? Only time will tell. But you have that nice move there. You have that inverted hammer. You get the pullback, runs into some pre-market support levels, get the grind higher, establishes a new high, probably grabs some liquidity up there, and then now we're right back at that key support level. So watch out for 101.42 on the key. That's the TQs. Wow, this thing's worth $100 now? That's crazy. I remember trading it is worth 30, blah, blah. Like, think about it. From those April lows, Sharif, this thing's worth 35 bucks, TQs.
These are TQs?
Yeah. Up 100.
Dude, I remember this thing in the 30s and 40s.
That's what I'm saying.
Geez,
it's $100 now. That is insane. So very interesting stuff. I think I'm going to probably hop out of this ETH trade momentarily. But again, we're not going to get out unless the price action tells us. But I think that we're headed on that path.
All right, man. I'm watching CDLX over here. It's not cooperating, man. I mean, we got a couple of prints. We don't have too many shares over here. If it dips down anymore, this isn't the ad. It's a topping tail candle that made a new high, mind you. And the fact that it's going red means that the sellers are in control. So I don't think this is the right one for me. So I think I'm going to flatten out here on CDLX. It's only going to be about a 5-6 penny loser. If we get out here, let's just continue to watch. Does it drop down into the 20, find support at the 20, or what's the situation? So, yeah, we ended up getting stopped out there. All right, continuing to watch over here. LWLG, good look, holding this one, looking for continuation, but BREA is open. Here we go again, baby. Here we go again. It's flying here, Joey. Can't even get close to it. Can't even get close. My buy orders, I got to like offset it by like $2 because you're not able to get anything. I tried to punch in there 36.5. By the time I even hit the key, old man hands can't hang, 37.95. It's going to halt up again. Why'd I even get out at 21, man? 21. Didn't I say that this was going to do? Oh, bad word. Halted, 37.94, 12.10.28. Ride the trend. Don't be schmuck like me. Ride the trend. We had some good fills on it, but hey, could have been a lot better, let me tell you. So this one is very strong and very and obviously very directional. The buyers are going to continue to squeeze this, I think, because of the nature of the headline. Again, they're adding crypto to their balance sheet, Soulmate. They're adding Solana. So that is it. That's really the only reason this is squeezing, okay? It's the same headline QQQ had. It's the same headline. What was that other one? Not SMR. SBET, BREA, QQQ, CWS, Octo. They're all the same headline. They're adding crypto onto their corporate treasuries, and the market just eats it up. Again, it's an short-term trade, not something to hold on forever. Chuck of all trades saying LASE. Let's have a look at LASE.
There's a $10 there if you want to fire it up.
Pardon me?
$10.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I will. One second. Yeah, good look. I'm gonna have to look at this one because there's a whole lot of selling at 4. This could be a squeeze here if we see some continuation. All right, beyond there something beyond there. Let me just maximize that. Beyond their what, Joey? What is this? Beyond their control. Okay, thank you very much, Beyond Their Control, for the $10 super chat. Let's see what it says. Just adjusting my window over here. I apologize. Thanks for the love. My trading game has risen significantly. Tips of the day. Joey Options, Adara the Brain, and everyone else. Best of the web. Boom. You're getting a lot of love there in the chat for Adara and Joey. Shout out to Beyond Their Control. Thank you very much, my friend, for the $10 super chat. Joey, what do you got, my man?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm going to add a little bit here on ETHA just because I like this 5-minute print. So we're at the lower end of the range here now, but I like, this 1-minute hammer candle. We like that one. Yeah, and Gaurav, to be honest with you, I don't love Tesla today, but obviously stick to your own playbook, right? we go back and forth. We can say, hey, I like this, I don't like this. What is it if everybody agrees? Essentially, you're just a robot at the end of the day, and we don't want any of that stuff. So Tesla, there it is. What else do we got going on? ETHA starting to get a little bit of a bounce. I just added 50% onto this here. So again, our risk profile is still relatively the same. We'll keep it on that neck of the woods. Let's go over some of the top volume names. I can already tell you who's at the top of the list, and that's going to be led by INTC, with 330 million shares traded on the session. And then we have Open Door. Oh, we haven't even looked at that. Open Door.
It's been kind of weak, no? Is it strong again today?
No, it's not strong.
Okay.
I mean, but the volume is there, right? So there's a lot of volume stepping in. It is more on the weak side, Sharif. You're correct on that part. But the volume is absolutely there. TSL with 111 million, bouncing off of those lows, so not too bad of a look. And then there's NVDA. We can take a look at Open's options chain to see what we got cooking up. We were talking about that strike price, the $10. So again, you're at 93,400 already, and then you have 55,900 contracts traded at that specific level. Now let's take a look at the put side. We don't focus on this too much. I personally don't, even though I do like put walls. 23,000, actually never mind that strike price. We want to go over to this one. That's that $8.50. 66,800 current open contracts with 13,500 have been closed. So that could be a potential put wall there. Look for a bounce in and around $8.50 if you get to that specific level in OPEN. Now there it is on ETHA, a small ad. Now let's see if we can break through the break at the top end of that. There goes Bitcoin. Let's go, man. Punching through this is a big time. This is a big pivot moment for BTC. We can take a look at the daily. Bang, bang, bang. There it is. And I think it's only a matter. I could be totally wrong. Worst case scenario, you come back here. But I think we might be on that trajectory, Sharif, where we're going to push for that all-time high in the likes of Bitcoin and ETHA. Ethereum.
All right, man. I like it, Joey. All right. I'm in LASE as well over here now. This one feels to me like it has a range between $4 and around $3.75. The reason I say that, VWAP, which has been a support level as well as a resistance level on LASE, is at $3.75 with the obvious area of resistance 4. We're exactly at that right now. Here we go. We're taking prints to the high side. Let's go ahead and wait for a possible spike. But as you've seen this one do, it spikes above 4 with topping tail candles and then immediately retraces. So if that is going to be the characteristic of the trading style, or the how this one ends up, the price action ends up manifesting on this, take advantage of that, right? You have some resting orders for price spikes that trigger as soon as the price makes its way up there, and then also do the same thing to the downside, right? Set up some beak wetters over here, or sorry, some DCAs in and around 80 or 75. So we just got a whole bunch of prints all the way up into about 410. Let's go ahead and set up a little bit north of that. I'm going to wait at 12s. Over here, we'll see exactly what we can get on LASE. But I'm also going to set up a dip trade for a move into about, like, let's just say 85. I mean, I don't mind waiting at 85, which is obviously ahead of the 75 penny area, but in case it doesn't make it all the way down, I'd like to keep an eye on this one. So LASE, very strong. Shout out to Chuck of all trades for giving me this one and pointing it out to me. I also want to mention one that I have said very little about. AIIO. This is a holdover from yesterday, and well, it is all gas, man. It has just been all greenery here. There's barely a red candle. One's forming right now. Maybe I jinxed it, but I mean, it's been a good look off that 230 area all the way up to 260. Very clean, Joey. Tell them what you're looking at, baby.
Sharif. Yeah, we got Ethereum here going there, my friend. Right into this resistance zone. I like how we're popping and how aggressive it is as the crypto space is continuing to move higher. I don't want to, see, that's the thing. I don't want to trim any in the top end of the zone running into resistance, even though it would be somewhat logical. But if I take some off, then I have to follow my rules and get out at break even. And then when you're kind of chopping around, the chances of it coming back in within the range are substantially there. And this is what I'm talking about. So you get that move right into 34.90, and then you reject it like right away automatically. Sharif, sorry to interrupt you.
It's okay, brother. Yeah. All right, guys, we're still waiting here for BREA to open. Don't forget, it halted at 12:10:28. All of the halts that I've seen so far have been 10 minutes in length. So this one will open at the earliest at 12:20:28. Is 12:17 and change right now. So we still have a little bit of time. We'll pack our patience and see what we can get on that. Other than that, I'm just holding my positions right now on LWLG and NFE. LWLG looking the best of the bunch. NFE a little undecided, holding trend, but not really giving me great prints. LWLG we have at 56 is showing me 65s. I've been waiting at 67 here for a long time. Still going unprinted, so I'm going to put some other beak wetters here. Oops, that's not the one that I wanted, so we'll just cancel that. The one here. What's happening? All right. Oh, that's why I'm doing that. Okay, gotcha. All right, no worries. We'll set up a little bit higher as well over here. So we'll see what we can get on that. I got out of CDLX, guys, because it's just not holding trend, and I don't want to have to dance with that. So I've let that one go. CDLX is going to be on my, I don't know. It's just not continuing. So it's very consolidative, and it's actually putting in a bit of a head and shoulders. And it's easy to short, too. They're free shorts on our platform, and I can borrow it for free on my own personal platform. So easy to short usually means you can just, the shorts don't need to locate. So, you can be kept down a little bit. It can be a bit of a price cap. So we'll see if it ends up breaking out. Great. If it doesn't, we'll let that one go. So continuing to watch LASE over here, looking for a dip trade back down into 85s. That's where I've got my dip trade set up, Joey. So I don't have a whole lot to talk about other than these ones. And again, guys, I'm in a lot of pain today. Sadly, my oblique is busted, and so I'm having trouble with a little bit with the energy. I've taken some muscle relaxers just to kind of tamper down the pain a little bit. So it's got me a little groggy, a little tired. So we'll try to do our best today, Joey. But for the moment, I'm just struggling a little bit.
Yeah, I'll have to take the hype for you today.
Oh, man.
Yesterday, you know how it was yesterday, man. First thing I said to Sharif this morning was like, bro, I'm locked in today. Because yesterday I was just like going over, I'm like, you know what, I can't. And I apologize to everyone. It's just don't be silly like me when it comes to trading, because you will not. You guys. It will not pay off at the end. Yeah, exactly. There you go. Shout out to Relaxed Muscles. Yeah. So
look what your friend Ven wrote there, bro. Come on now, bro. Come on now.
Ven.
M Butter has the same idea.
Yeah.
There you go.
You don't want to get too many of those during the
that's
sleepy.
No go for me.
Sleepy. All right. Oh, sorry, Oliver. Sorry, my friend. I know you asked multiple times politely. Clean Spark. We like this intraday hot fire. We love that even more. 5 minutes, you can see that candle open up right above view up, and then you're off to the races. You know what I like even more there, my friend Oliver? The daily breakout. That is super strong, running into a clean pivot. Once you punch through that, I think you might be off to the races in Clean Spark. But watch out for a potential pullback. Guess what, Sharif?
What?
There goes Ethereum. Let's take a little bit off there, guys. Patience is the name of the game. We'll take another. I think I just took 20% right there, so we won't complain about that one. Ethereum starting to cook up for your boy. Crypto space extremely hot. Is Bitcoin climbing? Let's take a look here one more time. If we're back towards the high of the day, that is going to be fantastic. Yeah, we're approaching that area, that neck of the woods pretty good. So let's go crypto space and play. I've been talking about that last week as well. Right. With the 50 bips, or the 25 bips, I'm like, yeah, I think the crypto space has some opportunities to go. So the cut did come in, and then sure enough, you go into last night and you're seeing it moving. Also, I was telling Sharif this morning as well too, I was trading Blue Ocean last night.
Oh.
Yeah, and I've never done it. So I'm like, let's get involved. And for some reason, I don't know what led me to it. I'm just like, all right, let's run through this. I went to overnight on the platform, and I seen Tesla. And I messaged our boy Yanni. I'm like, is it usually this liquid? And he's like, no, man, today it's just super, super in play. And it was beautiful price action.
What was the catalyst? Just like breaking out on technical breakout?
Well, no, I think a lot of it had to do with FOMC, right? The volume stepping into the overall market, right? So I think with that, there's no specific other than obviously the stock purchasing. But other than that, it was absolutely a beautiful PA, and I find it significantly cleaner than what you can experience through an intraday trading session, because there's not as much liquidity, but there was millions of shares being traded last night, and it was absolutely fantastic trading.
All right, man. BREA is halted again.
I know.
Okay. This time it's at $45.91. It is now up 500%. It feels like we're on our way, guys. You know, we haven't had a down halt in some time. I think we did get a down halt, a kind of really weird down halt at 11:35. That was almost an hour ago. It's been up, 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 and to the right. Very strong, very continuous. Just trade it carefully because once they turn, and then, you know, it halts so aggressively, it's sometimes hard to get out. But yeah, it has been, let me count the halts here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're in our 10th halt. 1 halt down, 9 halts up, 1 halt down on BREA. That should tell you all you really need to know about this one, man. It is very strong, so keep your eye out on it. I'm going to continue to watch my position over here. 65 seller on LWLG. I'm looking for the flat top to break on this one.
Like it's
got higher lows. I know, it's not bad. I like the color of your jacket, brother. Katina, man, have a look at this one. Another one. Can you guess what they're doing? Can you guess what they're doing? Just take a guess.
No, I looked it up in the middle first shot.
So you already know?
No, I don't. I stopped.
Crypto holdings, Katina, man. What you know what I mean? Like,
Hey, you're cripping today.
It's Solana, close. Yeah. Anyway, that is the look. Okay, I think we might have just gotten laced there on the dip trade. That was exactly what I was waiting for. There it is. So we did get triggered. Now, we have to keep an eye on this level. This is the support level, that 375 to 380. So I put it at 385 to front run it. Let's see what we get here on LASE, Joey. I'm going to keep my eye on this one, looking for a $4 move again into on LASE, excuse me.
Fantastic. Hit me up on X if you had that, brother, because I'm curious to see what you got cooking up, man. I'm so glad for you because I remember when I first started on this channel, surprisingly over a year ago, which is crazy. Over a year, yeah, September, over a year. Time flies when you're having an amazing time. But yeah, you've been talking about Mara from day one, and you know what? In all honesty, we're like, no, these things suck. Like, you don't want, you go to the actual underlying itself, but sure enough, you stuck to your guns, and now it's paying off, and I couldn't be happier for you. Katina, man, ready to throw down a rap battle? Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, he's looking fly today. He's at rap battle. I'm saying, yeah. What was that show with Adara, remember, with Nick Cannon? Oh, Yo Mama. Wildin' Out. Yeah. Wildin' Out. Yeah. That was crazy. Wildin' Out. What do you got, Sharif?
Nothing, Joey.
Okay,
I'm just continuing to watch.
I got something else here. Addition to, thank you, Tomcat. Much appreciated. There goes the crypto space continuing to climb higher. While Tesla was the 100-share punch at 3-minute hammer. Let's go. You're getting that bounce. Love seeing that, my friend. Really, really good look. I think at this point, if this candle doesn't hold up, we punch through that high. We get a new one within the intraday session. So I really, really like that one. Let's go Bitcoin. Snap through that and just continue to climb. Just go to the moon. Go 170,000 for all I care. We'll have a fantastic time with that. And it would be dinner on me if that is the case. That is for sure. I'll hold my word to it.
Well, you know, I know you as a man of your word, absolutely. And you know, I will expect those American Eagle jeans wrapped with the price tag and the receipt so that it can return them and take my $150 back.
Oh, that's crazy.
No, I'm going to wear them. I'm going to wear them.
Gift receipt.
That's crazy. I want the regular receipt, and you got to pay it in cash, too, so I can get it back in cash. You can't pay it in credit card.
Gift receipt.
Nah,
is where you're getting
right. Oh, man. Yes, I'm seeing the possible head and shoulder on LASE. Thank you, G. Castro. Good eye on that one. We'll see what it does. I've already thrown in my stop, brother, so come what may. You can only try to put the odds on your side over here. But BREA, we kept singing this one's praise, Joey. Oh, my God, there's been 100 halts. Only one of them has been down. Well, guess what? You just got an almost $10 halt, Katina, man. $52.95 high, and now we're halted at $43.34. This is the kind of insanity that these ones bring to the table. You could be out of the money quick as you freaking like. And that's why I'm so annoying, and I always say trade them carefully. That's where we're at right now, Joey Options.
But
that's where we're at right now.
Yeah,
I don't know where that one's at, but yeah.
We don't know where
that's a good one right there, my man. This guy's such a joker. God bless this guy. All right, guys, we're continuing to do it live, though, on LWLG. This one's stair-stepping up, looking 3 pennies away from the high, 370 high on that one. How's my other friend doing, NFE? Finally, we're getting some prints here on NF. All right, we're going to look for another beak wetter at 55s here on NFE. Packing my patience on this one. Shout out to Unlimited Potential. I got out of BREA at 52.25. That is, look, 52.95 is the high of day, but in my books, that is the high of day. Fantastic look there, Unlimited Potential. That's what I'm talking about, my man. That's a great trade. Shout out to you. I hope you printed up multiple storms on that side of the screen. It looks like you did with an out like that. So shout out to you, my guy. Keep me updated on your position. I'd love to know, what you were looking at, so we can let everybody else learn, right? That's the beautiful thing about being in this community right there. Yep. We're all learning off each other, Joey. So that's what I'm keeping my eye on right now. We'll continue to wait for LWLG, but we have to trade LASE with care because, well, it's got a range. That we know for sure, but that range can change at any minute. All of a sudden, the sellers can overwhelm buyers, and all of a sudden, we got no range. We got a downtrend. So I got to be alive to that. We'll see if we can get it.
Ooh, absolutely. Let's go with Ethereum. We're sitting on
Get
about,
out, Ross.
Okay, after this, 33% left of that position. We'll take a little bit more off there. So nice pop. Again, we hop in. Small, then we add a little bit more, and then boom, we get that move right off of that hammer candle, my guy Gaurav. Let's take a look at it on the 1 minute so we can see the detail. Detail is key when you're trading. Live and die by the 1 minute. I remember one of my buddies I was talking to, he's like, you trade the 1 minute? I'm like, brother, this was like my first couple months of trading. I'm like, yeah, who I was learning off said the 1 minute, the 1 minute, the 1 minute, but you have to be prepared to live and die by it, and this is what we just went off of. Trend line, hold, hammer, right at the low key support levels, pop, 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 pop a pow to the top side. Bitcoin's still hovering around that specific zone. Let's go through a couple more names here and see what we got going on. I know Sharif's got his small caps, and then we're gonna go to the stocks. I was trying to, guys, let me know. I was trying to set up an option scanner because what I've been doing for you guys for the past couple of days is just going through some of the highest levels of open interest. And instead of me going through my list, I was trying to set up a scanner for high levels of OI and volume, but I can't. No, 1 in 5. Jag, I look at the 1, 5, the daily, and sometimes like the 30 minute. So I'll live and die by those 3, right? So again, so what I was getting at here is I'm trying to set up a scanner for options, but I don't think I have the option to do so on this specific scanner. So I got to find something that's going to allow me to do that. If you guys have an option scanner, let me know and on what platform, because I want to go through the high levels of OI and high volume from an intraday standpoint instead of having to go through each individual underlying itself. So yeah, let's actually do something different. Let's start from the bottom up here, right? Because for me, my last name is W. You guys know who I am, Joseph Wilson. And when doing attendance, I'm always at the bottom of the list. So let's start with the bottom guys here, just so we can feel included as well, too. So Novo Nordisk with 15.9 million shares traded on the day. Intraday price action. It's decent, nothing's crazy or substantial. Nice little hammer candle. You can base a trade and risk off of that. Riot, what has Riot been doing? Bubkiss, as Sharif would like to say, compared to what we see in Mara. Now, HBAN, ooh, okay, not as liquid. Hims, what's that been up to? We haven't been to, wow, who are you? It is him, that is for sure. He is that guy right now today. So, boom, Hims looking pretty decent. Now let's get back to these 5-minute time frames and see what we got going on. Rivian, not doing too much. SBET, what are you up to? Bitcoin crypto space pulling back, kind of just giving you guys real time as we scan through some potential setups here. Amazon, ooh, nice, wow. Wow. Okay, but not overly isolated, so I probably wouldn't have took that one there. RCAT.
Oh, yeah.
Reflex RCAT.
Well, Adira put it on the watch list this morning. Oh, wow.
So there's that one. Robinhood Cypher doing all right. Robinhood tapped into 123.36. That's a new all-time high there in Robinhood. So fantastic look there. Ethereum, we already know what's cooking up on that end. And then also, let's go over IWM. How have you been on the day? Of course, the small caps are running. Look at this opening drive here, guys. Oh. Boom, you get it, and then the pullback, hammer candle signal, and then you get involved now putting in a new high of the day. What's up, the quantum space? Tropian, IonQ, QUBT, what are you up to? Same narrative there, but look at these higher lows being formed. watch out for this flat top to be broken. And who knows what can happen after that. So the price is really starting to compress there. What has Ford been up to? Nothing. Why are you even on here with 30 million shares? What a joke at the end of the day. SoFi looking not too bad either. Some really nice movers in today's session.
Absolutely, Joey. We're still waiting for BREA to unhalt. It is halted to the downside for only the second time on the day. The halt time, 12:26:24. The earliest this one could have opened is 12:31:34, but it is 12:32 and change, so we know this will probably be yet another 10-minute halter. But there goes LWLG into the high of the day, so we'll take the beak wetter there. So we'll keep that in focus, and we're looking for more prints to the high side. Let me know, Assassino. Okay. Did you know that instead... Oh, so Beta Pro, excuse me. Beta Pro by Global X is bringing back its annual biggest winner simulated ETF trading competition. Now with over $40,000 in cash prizes, including a $20,000 grand prize, all risk-free, guys. It's free to enter and open to all Canadians. Trade with $100,000 in fantasy cash on the Webull platform. And whether you're an experienced trader or just getting started, it's a chance to test strategies, build skills, and climb the leaderboard. So you think you have what it takes to be the next biggest winner? If you do, sign up today. Shout out to the great folks at Beta Pro.
Beta Pro.
All right, so that's a good look there. I personally don't like that. Don't mind that look, Joey, because... quite frankly, you're learning how to trade in a sim, and you also have the opportunity to make some cash if you're any good at it.
Yeah. I think that's the big thing. The cash, right? You can go and you can learn how to trade. But I did say this the other day as well, too, Sharif.
Straight cash, homie?
No, if I could go back from when I first started, I would have went with like extremely small size, like risking like $5 a trade or something like that, just to get the feel. Because when you do transition from sim to live, the butterflies are like back immediate. It's kind of like it's like starting from square one, essentially once again. But at the end of the day, there's money on the line with this, so that's something.
There you go, baby. I mean, I have to agree with that. I'd rather just execute the trading strategy in the sim to see if it has any merit.
Potential.
If it doesn't have merit, then how do you think you're going to make money in real life?
No, for sure.
I know the psychology is completely different. Also, on our platform here, P8. The fills are not the same.
No,
on the sim
not.
and live, they're just not the same.
You know which platform I was using before? It's very, very accurate. So
which one are we talking about?
At home? Yeah. It's very, very accurate. I would. That's the route I would go, considering I've obviously been on the path. But again, it's just getting the gut feel. It's like, okay, to add to your point, is like, you want to see if the system works, but if it works and then you go to the live, then it's kind of like you start all over.
I'm not even disagreeing with that. It's just like, if you don't have a proven strategy and you can't turn fake money into profits, well, how do you think you're going to turn real money into profits?
No, I don't disagree with you on that front.
Yeah, so, it is what it is. And, so for P8, guys, right away, you can tell when it's sim and when it's not. Show the screen, Assassino. Right away, I have all these gateways. I have basically every gateway under the sun. And when you're in the sim on P8, you only have like 2 or 3. So immediately you can tell who's in the sim and who's not, all right? So that's just kind of how it works there. And anybody who's on P8 knows exactly what I'm talking about. Get it, Adara. All right, so we're continuing to watch here, LWLG. And, looks like BREA, Joey, is going to be a 15-minute halt. I lied. It was so good. Why did I do that, Joey? All right, here it doesn't even let me in again, man. All right, Joey, this thing is all sorts of mad. It's going to hold up. I can tell. It's going to rocket right back up. Look at 40. Watch the buyer possibly at 40. No, wow, what a drop. We're still above the 10 EMA. 10 EMA on the 5. Is 37 2/3, 37 3/4, right back up and into the halt parameter it goes, 45.10. Do we get a false halt? We might false halt. We do false halt. That gives us a possible opportunity to clear 45.10 as the ticker will have to restart that halt timer, excuse me. So we'll continue to watch that. BREA all sorts of strong, but all sorts of volatile. Again, this is one of those ones that's adding crypto onto the corporate treasuries, and the market has been liking that a lot lately. So this is one of those ones right now, and you can kind of tell just by how much it's up on the day. 45.66, the new halt parameter here, Joey, as we start the 10 seconds to the gray out. Keep watching this one, up 496%, but it's still substantially off the highs. 52.95 is the high of the day. And then we got the second false halt in a row there into that level. So this one could continue into area highs. What do you got, my man?
All right, so there it is, guys, on ETHA. We're still holding on to a little bit here, nothing substantial, only about 15-20% or so remaining. We get involved with that, so it's working. But I just mentioned double top here on IBIT. That's not what we want to see. So keep an eye out on that one specifically. 67 flat. Let's pull up the chain and see what we got at that specific level and that strike price. If there's any outstanding open interest, then we might have to wait until the post market to get involved with it. Once again, I know my guy Rusty Dutch, he's like, yeah, I'm done with this for today. So shout out to you for that. What the hell? Okay. That doesn't make too much sense. I figured it'd be closer to, okay, I guess not. 67, sorry, yeah, I got my numbers a little bit mixed up. 67, 48,300, 14,700 contracts. That's going to be the largest volume. So there's some form of defense going on at 67 here in Bitcoin, considering we don't see anything that large on the volume standpoint. And then also 48,300 there, and that's going to be the largest amount of open interest on this week's expiration cycle. Oh, okay, never mind, 75. Wow, let's wait for that to roll over. If we get to 75 or 74 by next week, oh, baby. Sharif, we need...
Yes, sir. Trade the pool, Joey. Did you know that instead of risking your own money, oh, sorry, Assassino. Instead of risking your own money, my bad, you can now trade with someone else's capital. No more fear of losing, no more moving your stop loss too soon. And you can actually get enough capital to make it worth your time so you can aim for big profits, not just a couple of $100 a month here and there. This is the revolution called limited risk trading, and it's powered by Trade the Pool, baby. And this is how it works. First, you join Trade the Pool. Second, you hit the profit goal. And third, you keep up to 70% of the profit. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, visit tradethepool.com. Shout out to the great folks at Trade the Pool, Joey. Yeah. So we're continuing to watch BREA. I had a bunch of trades on it while Joey was talking. We took another little winner there, not as big as before, but I had to flatten out a little bit on this one. So we'll keep watching that, but I'm still watching LWLG as it takes out area highs. Now it's a 372 winner. BREA, though, is the one that everybody wants to know about, and rightfully so. It's up 500%, but it is now putting in lower highs. So the prior candle high has a high of 47.25. Prior to that, it is the high of the day, 52.95. So I am alive to these lower highs. We should, if we can take out 47.5, that would change the trend, and that would tell me that the seller who's been keeping us down below that level is probably gone. At least, you know, we get another opportunity to maybe test the high of the day at around 53 bucks. So if that 47.50 seller, exactly 47.25, I should say, gets taken out, I'd like a breakout trade on this one. That's all assuming, of course, that there's no halt parameter in front of that, okay? So that's what I'll be keeping my eye on. I'm still involved in LASE. Took a print on that. Not really continuing aggressively to the high side, but I expect it to hold trend. I've got 75s on at the moment, which is a good look on this bad boy. And that's it, Joey. I've been keeping my eye on these three, really, and we'll continue to execute on these three. We've got another maybe 5 or 10 minutes or so before we start the news, but it's been a good look on the day, my man.
Yeah, it has, man. Ethereum's been rocking and rolling, man. It's been a good day, for sure. What has that piece of garbage TXN been up to, Sharif?
Now you're showing the same type of disdain for your investments as me. I love that. I love that.
Man. You know, it's a hate and love relationship. Screen, Assassino, please and thank you. Look at Ethereum go. Bang, bang.
Get it, Joey. Oh, Joey.
You got?
Oh, no. Oh, no.
It tanked.
It's tanking, Joey. No. Is it all over for BREA? Is this the beginning of the end? I mean, the end's got to begin somewhere. Right? Like, we're still above the 10 EMA. Even if we halt down at 39.50, Joey, believe it or not, that's still above the 10 exponential moving average on the 5. all sorts of crazy. I see QSI. G, shout out to you, my man. Good eye for QSI. I've been keeping that on the side chart all day, and I haven't executed once on it. But BREA is halted down, Joseph, $39.50. Even this is the third halt down. It's still above the 10 exponential moving average on the 5, and that will be an invitation for me to continue trading it if it sets up the right way. But we're trying to do it live on NFE, LASE, and LWLG. And there goes NFE into 57s. That's where I'm waiting. Let's go cross that 57 and let's get a price spike into that high a day, baby, which is currently 60s. I've been holding you for a hot minute. And I would have said something different over here if I wasn't on the show, but you know, we gotta put some respect for our viewers. We can't just be dropping you know, these type of bombs over here.
Yeah, we don't want to be
right?
doing that.
You know, they might have kids around or whatever.
Yeah, we keep it PG around.
Keep it PG,
here.
baby.
Obviously a family show, as Neil and them like to say. All right, guys, Ankit Kapoor.
Oh,
I was down 5K
get it,
today.
Ankit. I used to have a friend in high school called Ankit.
Ankit?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Ankit Shah.
Pardon me?
Ankit Shah.
Ankit Shah.
I bet you he's Gujarati. Are you Gujarati?
Gujarati.
Tell me if you're Gujarati or not.
Where's
Tag
that?
me, Ankit.
What is it?
It's a state in India called Gujarat.
Okay, all right, cool.
Because you know there's so many languages there, right?
They got a lot of everywhere. Okay, so guys, I was down 5K today, but BREA almost got me back positive. The market always gives you opportunities to bounce back. What a wild ride. The fact that you were down 5K and then you're almost back positive, that's rocking and rolling, man. That's what we want to see. Yeah, so we got Hiram Patel, who is Gujarati there.
Yeah, Patel is a dead giveaway right away. I could know
right away.
Immediately.
Yeah. Overcook on right away. Yeah, I am Gujarati too, says Deval. All right, so shout out to India, man. Guys, honestly, we got another Gujarati. If I'm probably butchering it like to the fullest. But
you'd get along very good over there because they love options in India, dude. Most of the options volume comes out of India.
I love India, man. I love options as well too. But I love India, man. I don't know what it was. Full disclosure, like we got a lot of big India presence here, rocking and roll.
Whoa! Look at all the Indians coming through in the chat, my man. All right.
To be honest with you, I don't know what it was. I had this massive fascination with the Ganges. The river, obviously, in India. Yeah. So that's just like something on my bucket list when I head over to Asia, God willing. Obviously, I ever get over to that side of the world. That's one place that I'm absolutely. There's 1,000% I'm going, and that's to the Ganges.
And there's a bunch to see there. Obviously, my first trip to Asia will be to China. Obviously, because I'm learning Mandarin.
Yep.
But Yes, Assassino. I can't wait for that, Joey. It's been a hot minute since I've been on vacation to April of 2024.
Brother, you got to set up the lads trip for New Year's, man.
And I got to set up a house.
Yeah, okay.
So that's the thing, baby. I'm just
priority.
All saving, Joey. All saving right now.
That's good.
All right, let's continue.
You're like me, brother. I don't like spending the dollars.
I like spending, but dude, I don't like to live on anybody else's terms. And when you live in a condo, you live on somebody else's terms.
For me, like crazy. When I'm out, like say I'm at the club or something, it's just the I don't care meter goes through the roof once, like, and for me, it's just like it's whatever, right? It comes back, it comes and goes, and then I just get a little bit reckless at times. So it's just best I just disassociate with of those situations.
I got you. All right.
Even though
Steve, you're killing me, Steve. All right. Yes, churn credit cards to get travel free, says Timon. I've seen all the credit card hackers and stuff like that. All right, guys. Shout out to Steve D'Agostino. Neg, 2 weeks of higher lows. I know, brother. It's insane. Newegg is insane. Anybody pull up NEWG, just have a look at that. It used to be a small cap gapper. It was showing up on my scanner every day. That ain't no small cap gapper. That's a legitimate company now. Shout out to the man Steve there. 2 New York cents. I thought you were going to say homo. Yeah, it is. Of course, we do have HOA. Well, we just call it condo fees. Same business. It's a synonym. And I hate them, okay? Because it goes up every freaking year, okay? And it's just like, you know, anyway, you guys don't need to hear about my problems, but we're doing well today, guys, on these trades. NFE about to take out the highs, LWLG at the high. And are we doing it? We're doing it live on LASE. Joey, we're taking out the prints, man. Very happy with this trade. Let's take out some more as we do have shares on here. We got 76s. We just got printed at 95s. Let's set up at 97. We're going to pause for a second and send you to the human algo at the big desk at Daryl LePage.
Thank you for that transition, Sharif. I just want to let you guys know in 15 minutes, actually now 13 minutes, NVIDIA and Intel will start their press conference. I'm already in the virtual lobby for this press conference, so when this starts, I will let you know. It's unclear what to expect from this. It was announced just before 11 a.m., so we didn't really have much context for it either. But if and when I get any more details, and once it starts, of course, I'll let you know. We also have, at the exact same time, 1 p.m., we'll get that 10-year tips auction, so be aware. Auction as well in 15 minutes in addition to the NVIDIA and Intel press conference. And back to you.
Adara, appreciate that. I'm going to be very interested to hear the nature of the agreement between NVIDIA and Intel. Again, Joey, when we were reviewing the story in the morning, we don't even know if NVIDIA is going to use Intel's foundries. We know they spent up a storm building those foundries under Patty G. Lip-Bu, the new CEO, has a different view of how the company should be going, maybe not the foundry business. But you got to assume, if NVIDIA already passed up on Intel's technology, whether the 14A or the 18A process, because they were offered it, and they said, no, this is for us. You gotta assume that if they're now re-looking at the same type of product they already passed on, then there must have been some persuasive pressure, who knows who, to de-emphasize the relationship between NVIDIA and Taiwan Semi in exchange for the relationship, a newer relationship between Intel, an American company, might I add, and NVIDIA. So I don't know who would be putting that kind of pressure. I mean, maybe somebody who has a 10% stake in Intel.
No, they wouldn't do that.
They wouldn't do that. Joey?
No, they wouldn't do that.
Oh my God, that's crazy talk right there.
No way
that's crazy talk.
There's no way that would ever happen, guys. 14 years, zero hacks, zero excuses. BTCC.com delivers when the others don't. Trade Bitcoin up to 500x, even Tesla Gold, and 4x. With smart copy trading, you don't just watch the pros, you trade like them. Regulated in the USA, Canada, and Europe. Trusted by 6.8 million traders. Trader TV Live exclusive. Scan the QR code. Click the link in the description box. A 15% deposit bonus. BTCC, where the pros trade. And now, so can you.
You like that song? Born in the USA.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I couldn't even imagine how many times that song goes on repeat on July 4th.
Oh, God,
It's just like, you know how Mariah Carey makes Pure Money during Christmas?
Yeah.
That's probably like Born in the...
Can I say something? Yeah. If you're ever in Huntington Beach on the 4th of July,
Where is that?
You're
Where is
in
it?
Orange County, south of LA.
Okay.
Just a little. It's like an hour south of LA. Not even 45 minutes.
Yeah.
It's basically LA.
Yeah.
Huntington Beach on the 4th of July. Crazy. Parade go anyway, bro.
Yeah.
Good times. I heard a lot of that song in Huntington.
Yeah, you go everywhere.
Rich Buddy, you know what I'm talking about. If you live there, Rich Buddy's in Huntington as we speak. So Rich Buddy, tell me, how insane is Huntington on the 4th of July? I've been there a handful of times because my sister lives in Laguna Niguel, so it's super close. I absolutely love it. One of my favorite places in Southern California. I got to tell you, though, Florida beaches over LA beaches. That's, unpopular opinion, but I don't like the LA beaches as much because they're a little cold and the water is not as nice. Florida's obviously very clear, a lot warmer, so it's nicer.
I think the East Coast beaches are a little bit nicer. Like if you go into the likes of Mexico, I mean, sure, there's obviously nice ones there, like Cabo. I think like you get the Cancuns that are slightly better, for sure. All right,
Adara, are you singing the OC song? You are. You're singing the OC.
You know it. I love the OC. Sandy Cohen for life. I know you've seen the OC too, so that was at least partially for you.
Yay.
How does it go, Adara? How does the OC song go?
Here we come.
California, here we come, right back where we started from.
Get it, Adara.
All the great like CW theme songs, like that One Tree Hill forever.
All right.
Thank you for weaseling it, Adara. I appreciate you. Joey, we're just going to recount here some trades. NFE continuing to trade to the higher side, a couple of shekels south of the high of the day. But look at my very good friend now. LWLG, come on, Mr. LWLG, just cross, bro. Give me the 77 print. That's crazy talk right there. We're going to just take it at 76 and get at a dodge. But LWLG continuing to go. Last but not least, Joey, we're still holding, what's it called over here? LASE for a breakthrough 4. I'm very pleased with my entry at 75 as we go all the way up to 4. So looking to take some more prints to the high side over here. We're in 3 trades. We've been trading, I think, 3 or 4 names basically all day. There goes LASE into 4. Seller at 4. We got the print at 95. Uh-oh.
Wow.
He's here. He's here. Big.
I don't know if you can read this.
Spile Burdette.
But, all right.
I'm not reading that big spile. I'm not reading that. You're gonna get us dinged by the algorithm, big spile.
I don't know what's up with this guy.
I love him.
Obviously,
he's a liability. He's an absolute liability. But he's fantastic.
There's no filter whatsoever. That's the one where you use is like that one friend where you bring over to your parents.
Embarrassing.
Like, just don't say anything.
Yeah. Just don't talk today. Right? Just eat the food.
Just like be present. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, he's a complete legend. There's no beating around that.
Sharif, give the Valley some love, says Guy at LAX. Absolutely, brother. I love Pasadena. I like Glendale as well. I like the Glendale Galleria. What's that other place in front of the Glendale Galleria? The outdoor mall. I forget the name of it. You know what I'm talking about, though, if you're from the Valley. I'm not a big fan of Burbank. I like Studio City. I like these areas in the Valley, but I'm more of a coast guy. Pomona? No, I've never been, but I know about it.
You know about Pomona? The only reason why I know about Pomona is Alpha Dog, the movie.
Oh, okay. Alpha Dog!
Yeah, that's it.
Yes, with Fernando Vargas.
Is that who it is?
Yes, Fernando Vargas, where they killed the kid with Justin Timberlake. That broke my heart, that movie.
Yeah.
You know, that's a real story. With Sharon Stone,
and
she plays the mom, the grieving mom.
Oh, yeah. Bruce Willis is in it, too.
Yes, he's the gangster.
The dad.
But he is a gangster. That's
he?
why the kid has...
he got away with it.
Yeah.
Alpha Dog was one of my favorite movies.
Serious movie.
Justin...
Excellent call out there, Joey. That's an old-ass movie, though. That's like 20 years old.
Yeah.
You believe it?
My favorite. JT was young in that one.
He was. He's an actor, though. He can act,
love him.
man.
I love JT.
I like Justin Timberlake, man. Anyway, great. Wow, man, that brought back some memories. That's a sad story.
Yeah, it is.
It broke my heart a little bit. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, it was one of my favorite movies. That's actually what inspired me to get a bit of my Justin Timberlake there. JT, man.
That's the best right there. But have you been to LA or like
no,
the LA area? Okay.
No, I've never been to LA.
If you end up going to LA, one of my favorite beaches though, in Newport.
Yeah.
Newport Beach. Top. I'll give you a reason.
What is the highway? The 11, I think.
Pacific Coast Highway, PCH. Yeah.
PCH,
so Newport. The good thing about Newport, when you compare Newport to, say, for example, Huntington's got a really long, sand area. So to get to the water, you've got to walk up plenty, and it's not intimate. Whereas Newport, they got the boardwalk where you can blade, walk, do whatever bike, right kind of close to the water. So it's a lot more compact, and it's a lot cleaner too. Balboa Beach, great as well. There's so many. I love Los Angeles.
Man. Yeah, I mean, I love it. We love America, man.
I'm a big fan of America. Are you kidding me, bro?
Yeah, I love it. I love Canada too, though. Don't get it twisted. My boys and I were just canoeing, chilling on a rock. Just blasting classic rock tunes, just looking at kind of just our whole environment around us, and it's tough. When you get into Canadian cottage country, it's tough to beat that, man.
It's a different vibe, though. Yeah. It's a completely different vibe. You're talking about fresh water, you're talking about boating, and that by the way, it's a different vibe completely.
It's different, man. Yeah. Canadian cottage country is
Muskoka. Melly knows exactly what's up there. She knows what's good. So, all right, Joey, look, it's 5-2. I'm still in a few positions.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to flatten out. We're going to get out so we can do the news. Obviously, I'm not getting out at the most advantageous time, but I'm going to flatten out on all of my trades. And we are now flat on everything except LWLG. Give me an opportunity to flatten that one out. And we're going to start the news quick as you like. There it is. We're all done our trades. Not a bad day. Ross, you must have never been to San Simon Beach. It's where Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys live. No, I've actually never been there. But now that you've mentioned it, I'm taking a picture of that so that I can actually mention it to my sister. When I'm down there, she's going to have to give me the car or drive me. I'm waiting to go to. How close is that, brother? Say Orange County. Tag me. If you can, just let me know exactly where that is. Because you're like, dude, driving in Southern California is like driving to a place with no end to civilization.
Oh, yeah.
You just keep driving, there's more people.
Oh, really?
Whether you're going, you can't go west, because obviously west is the Pacific.
Yeah.
You go north, you go east, or you go south. There's people. Houses.
Yeah. Houses.
Civilization. There's just like no area where you got to really go into the high desert to kind of find an area where no people are living, but it's very, very high density. Yeah, just tag me there so I can see your comment. All right, let's bring it in, baby. We're going to go ahead and start with the news. Allow me a moment, please.
I think there's a lot of, see, I have issues with going to the beach over there on the West Coast.
Why?
It's just pure sharks in the water, man. That's my biggest fear on the planet. Even
sharks?
Yeah.
Really?
I panic even in like fresh water.
Isn't sharks more likely in Florida though, with like bull sharks and stuff like that?
Dude,
that was my understanding.
If the water is salty, there's sharks.
Assassino, is there an issue with that in Brazil? Yeah, there is. Yeah, Assassino confirmed it. Really?
Pure sharks.
Interesting. Interesting.
I mean, over in Egypt, they got all the tiger sharks too. Just
Red Sea, yes. Mediterranean Sea, no. So we're on two seas. To the east is the Red Sea.
I wonder why they call it the Red Sea.
Well, because I actually don't know, brother. Yeah, I know. That's a good point. But I don't think they call it. I think there's some like red foliage or whatever in it. But the Mediterranean is where the nicer water is. The north coast of Egypt is way nicer.
Have you ever
than
been
the
to Croatia?
No, I haven't, but I heard it's banger. Why do you want to go, Joey?
Croatia?
Yeah.
They got a place called nice.
Is that why, eh?
It's nice.
That's not what I heard.
Why? What did you hear? What did you know about Croatia that I don't know?
No?
Yeah, I don't know.
Everything's fine, Adara.
All
right.
Clearly, he knows something that I know. Yeah.
It is. I think it's fine. All right, let's talk about NVIDIA. You're going to get me more trouble. What?
Is it like a Thailand trip?
No. No, it's not a Thailand trip, but it's.
All right, well. We know what happened in The Hangover.
Oh, boy. Here we go. Here we go.
Can't talk about that.
Ross says Newport Beach is nice, but Seals Beach is better. One of the few with off-dog leashes. Oh, okay, cool. All right, Assassino, we're going to start the news. Brother, let's talk about NVIDIA investing $5 billion in Intel for data center as well as PC collaboration. So let's get to the nitty-gritty. Adara, that thing is going to start in 1 minute, right? So Adara's all over that, okay? So there's a press conference with Lip-Bu Tan and NVIDIA CEO starting in 1 minute. We're going to do the news, and if Adara has updates, she's going to interrupt us and bring it to us live. So NVIDIA announced it will invest $5 billion into Intel as part of a collaboration to co-develop data centers and PC products. The investment is priced at $23.28 per share. That's how much NVIDIA was when they bought shares in the company. That's what they was priced at. Intel on the day. Where's Intel? It's up to $31.78, so they're already in the money, okay? NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang called it a historic collaboration that fuses NVIDIA's AI and accelerated computing stack with Intel's CPU and x86 ecosystem, Joseph.
All right, guys, let's take a look at OAGen. Each year, 3.8 million concussions are reported in the U.S., yet there's still no FDA-approved treatment. Now, as he listed Oragenics, OAGen is changing that with first-in-class intranasal drug designed for rapid brain access. With the concussion treatment market projected to reach around $8.9 billion by 2027, Oragenics is uniquely positioned to lead the way. Learn more and schedule a meeting today.
Joseph, LASE is breaking out bigly. Go ahead, Adara.
This thing just started. The event just started. MusicSoft people are talking.
Thank you, Adara.
Thank you.
LASE is absolutely flying to the high side. There is the breakout through $4. Now it can get really crazy as people are going to get caught offside here. Be on the lookout for more squeezes. If it doesn't squeeze and comes back in, $4, a very interesting area of support, given that we had basically been rejecting it on a closing basis all day. LASE really going over here. We'll keep an eye out on that. Let's continue on. Adara is going to interrupt us if there's anything breaking from Lipbu and Jensen. So the deal, we're talking about Intel and NVIDIA, the deal is obviously subject to regulatory approval, but there's actually no indication by Intel that they will, NVIDIA, excuse me, that they're actually going to use NVIDIA's Intel Foundry for its own chips. Let's see it, Katina, man. I just want to finish my sentence. It's okay,
Put some
brother.
more salad on top of that.
All right, get
That's
it.
the tilapia.
It kind of tell you something. When I tasted it last time, it wasn't too bad.
Okay.
It wasn't too bad.
I got the chicken. I got,
the chicken,
Yeah,
eh?
yeah. Well, I
You got yesterday's food?
request.
You got
DJ
yesterday's food,
request,
huh?
baby.
Okay.
No one tells DJ request.
All right, let's continue on. Intel's recent rebound has been supported, obviously, by U.S. government intervention in investing 10% into Intel and the company in August. We know that Intel was up big in the pre-market to the tune of 33%. It's up 27 and change right now after hitting decades low this past year. And as I mentioned, Jensen Huang and Lip-Bu Tan, CEO of Intel, are set to hold a joint press conference right now. It's already starting. Investors, Joey, will be closely watching for details on the scope of the co-development and the expected timelines for such development, and whether further U.S. government support will be linked to the partnership, because we know that they're already investing in it. So those are the things I'm going to be listening for. We're going to wait for Adara to update us on that. What's your takeaway from this?
Listen, I mean, I think from the get-go, we were talking about the incentives that Intel was getting all this money, but it's not going to buy them any customers. Well, I think this is fantastic look here for Intel. Considering 10% stake, what's going to go on now? You're going to, as we were, Sharif and I were slightly joking about, were they slightly persuaded in order to invest into Intel? And I think that was the case. But again, I like the fact that the main problem with INTC was that they didn't have a strong customer base, but I like the fact that we have NVDA investing $4 billion into it now.
All right, Adara, what do you think? What do you make of this whole thing? It's a very interesting tie-up between NVIDIA and Intel. What do you make of this whole thing?
Timing is fascinating given the whole U.S. government investment in Intel, but the government has said that they didn't play a role in this. That's the first thing that my mind went to when I heard this. I will let you guys know as well, I can't hear super well because I'm listening to Jensen Huang right now. He is not running the press conference. It's being run by one of NVIDIA's communications executives. But it is worth noting, hilariously enough, this started with, and I don't know if this was supposed to be on mic, but Jensen Huang and Lip-Bu Tan talking about the cognac that Jensen was having in London last night. And that is a true story. Again, I'm not sure if it was supposed to be mic'd up or not, because then we got the intro after that, so this might have been a hot mic moment. But either way, nothing bad was said. Jensen liked the cognac. He said it was like 100 years old or something. So good times there. I do want to talk as well about the 10-year tips auction. So people on X are saying this one is quote-unquote terrible. I don't know enough about auctions to actually make that judgment for myself. What I will say, the actual 10-year tips high yield, 1.734%. Before the auction, it was around 1.68% or 1.6. The point is, it was higher there than it was before the auction. So interesting look there for the auction. Again, back to Intel and NVIDIA. I'll be listening to this for you guys. I'll let you guys know what's happening there. But Lip-Bu Tan making some big changes and attracting some big investments. He's only been with Intel as CEO for about 6 months.
Thank you, Adara. Yes, he is. He's making big waves. Whether you look at it as positive or negative, if you were a pro-foundry business, maybe you're not very happy that they're leaving. If you were anti that whole strategy, you love Lip-Bu. So let's keep, Adara's listening, so we'll kind of keep you updated on any new developments from that press conference. But let's go on to the next story, Joey. Equally as important story, Meta Connect wrapping up today, starting yesterday, and we know that Zuck had a lot to say. So there's a lot of products, so let's get right to them. So first and foremost, they now have these Hypernova glasses that actually have a smart or a display in them. So Zuckerberg unveiled the $799 Meta Ray-Ban display glasses, the company's first consumer-ready smart glasses featuring a built-in display. The display can be controlled using the Meta Neural Band, an EMG wristband that interprets hand gestures. I gotta tell them though that Apple's thing, you don't need a hand, but anyway. Tasks possibly include here watching videos, responding to text, interacting with Meta AI, while the display disappears when not in use. I like that. The product launches, Joey, on the 30th of September, so 12 days from now, with a strong emphasis here on blending fashion with AI functionality. That's not the only product, though, that they dropped. They dropped another one here for athletes called the Oakley Meta Vanguard Smart Glasses. Are going to be about $500, and they're targeting athletes in high-intensity sports like biking and snowboarding. They're going to have a 3K video capture ability and 9 hours of battery life, improved speakers, Joey, and it's going to be able to connect to your Garmin fitness watch, not the Apple Watch. That was definitely on purpose. The launch date for that bad boy, the 21st of October, so staging it out. First, you get the display glasses, the 30th, then you get this Vanguard on the 21st. But that's not it. We're going to keep going. Meta Ray-Ban Glasses Gen 2, a refresh of the original smart glasses, priced higher this time. Last year, they were $299 base price. Now, the $379 base price. Improvements include double the battery life. You're going to get about 8 hours instead of 4. You're also going to get that 3K Ultra HD camera, and it's available starting today, Adara.
Yeah, Visa and MasterCard are both dropping here. I don't know why yet, but keep an eye. V and MA, here is Visa, and I'll pull up MasterCard, both getting drops here with relative volume. If I get any more details, I will let you know. This is the 15-minute chart on these. Back to you.
For that, yeah, I'm seeing them as well, not seeing exactly why. Last but not least, there's one more product, Assassino, and they're getting into the TV business. They're calling it Horizon TV with a VR twist. What am I talking about? Well, your boy Zuckerberg announced that Horizon TV, which is going to be a new app inside MetaQuest VR headset, it's going to display TV shows, sporting events, movies in partnership with Disney, Universal Pictures, and other content providers. So 4 major products here, Joey, all in one night. It's a good look for Meta. The price, I mean, it's up 1 1/4, but we're really on the door. We're knocking on the door of all-time highs, Joey. All-time highs, $795. We're at $788, high day today.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a really good look for Reality Labs, considering they operate essentially at a net loss, Sharif. I'm curious to what the margins on some of these products are going to be, and how long is it going to take them to turn a profit? I mean, if these smart glasses are a hit and people want to get their hands on them, they can start flying off the shelves, hands over fist. So I'm curious to see how they look, and I like what Dinkelberg said as well too. $800 for these glasses, or $4K for the Vision Pro and Apple, or whatever it is, 1,000.
Yeah, they're not the same thing.
Right, they're not the same thing. But I like what he had on that front. Dropping a lot of new products, that's pretty good. And again, for me, I think it's just margins, and how they're going to reflect in the Reality Lab sector of Meta.
100% agree. What I'll be looking for mostly, we're going to get there in a second, but I want to see how good these supernova glasses are, the $800 ones. How good is the display? How does it function in high light or bright environments, right, when you're outside? Is it laggy? Is it, glitchy when I dictate orally to it? Does it understand what I'm saying, or am I gonna have to repeat myself? So I want to see how it works in real life, but I love the concept. A bit of a high price, but you kind of expect that, and it's a lot cheaper than the Vision Pro. Adara, what did you make of the Connect conference and these 4 product launches?
Yeah, I will say, for one, I'm seeing some people in the chat, and I saw this yesterday, with the issue with the glasses not performing perfectly in the demo. That is not necessarily be all end all for Meta. Google did the same thing. The stock actually dropped because it happened intraday at one of their events last year. It's not the end of the world for Meta. Excuse me. Meta, yeah, I mean, Meta being, I guess, are we green? We are.
Yeah,
green
1 1/4.
From yesterday's high, so where we closed. So good look here for MET, I guess, on the stock. I think it's odd the extent to which this company is pivoting towards the visual aspect of things and the Vision Pro, but as I said yesterday, if people want to get into that, if that's something they like, I respect that. Apparently, I'm actually seeing too, their product chief, Chris Cox, said that smart glasses are going to be the future of computing. We'll have to wait and see if that is in fact the case. But if they believe that, it makes sense to pivot their strategy towards that. So with that, I guess I understand it from that opinion. I don't have too much more to say on this.
Okay.
I want to let you guys know, Jensen Huang and Lip Bhutan are now taking questions. The first question actually came from Jim Kramer.
Get it, Jim.
Nothing really of note there right now, though. They're just talking, and now we see them on camera. So that's a nice update. Back to you.
Awesome. Thank you, Adara. Katina, man, You gonna buy? Are you interested in these hypernova glass? That's not the move, eh? We're interested in the wearables. How about you, Neil? You're interested in the wearables? Neil, does that move the needle for you, these display glasses? Neil's giving me the head shake. He's not impressed either. Yeah, so I kind of feel that's the running consensus. I got to be honest with you. I thought there would be more, enthusiasm for glasses where there was display. But yeah, the market, or, generally people I speak to, not too enthused about it. So let's see, how that all ends up being once the products are out and there's reviews and people are wearing them and using them. Howard, giving you love, Adara. Adara, always 100% spot on, dropping $2 in the super chat. Shout out to your boy Howard. Let's go on to China.
It's not Lutnick, though.
No, not Lutnick, lunatic. No, it's not. China drops antitrust probe into Google amid trade negotiations. Let's get right to it. What happened here? So the Chinese State Administration for Market Regulation has terminated its antitrust probe into Google. The investigation, which launched back in February, really focused on Android's operating system and the effect that it has on Chinese phone makers like Oppo, Xiaomi, and Honor and others, okay? While Google services generally remain blocked in China, the company does generate revenue from China from ads and cloud services that are sold to Chinese firms targeting overseas markets. We're talking about your Temus, your Xians, right? Chinese advertisers that are focused on American consumers. What's the strategic trade-off here, though? Why drop it now in the middle of negotiations? Well, this reflects Beijing's tactical recalibration in its trade standoff with Washington. China is really concentrating here its regulatory scrutiny now on NVIDIA. We see that, right? The H20's banned, the RTX 6000D's banned, probably the B30A, once it's out by the end of this month, might also be banned. They're warning their big tech companies not to buy these NVIDIA chips. So the focus is no longer Google anymore, but more NVIDIA. And analysts are suggesting Beijing's approach is drop one case, but seize the other, sort of speak, narrowing the retaliatory targets that they have to maximize the leverage with Donald Trump in negotiations. And we know, Joey, the move comes as U.S. and China had 3 days of negotiations in Madrid. President Donald Trump and President Xi are slated to speak on the phone on Friday, possibly to finalize the TikTok deal. And dropping the Google case sends a signal of flexibility to Washington, right? Yeah. So, what do you make of this here? Is it just kind of what I was suggesting, that let's de-emphasize the regulatory pressure on Google and put 100% pressure on NVIDIA because that's where we can get more in negotiations? What do you think?
Yeah, that could definitely be a part of it, right? But I think what we're starting to see here, Sharif, is that you're starting to come to terms with the TikTok deal. Now they're going to drop this antitrust against Google. Yeah, they may shift their focus onto NVDA, but I think it's a positive sign between the two parties that, hey, we're both willing to negotiate and talk with each other. But now as for Google, I think that since the ending, the antitrust is starting to cool down over in the United States. It lifted a massive weight off of Google's shoulders. Adara said this as well too, and I wholeheartedly agree on the fact that you can see it displayed in the price as well too. But as for China doing that, I like it. I think it's going to be positive for trade talks as well, and then also in the likes of, I said that. I seen that they had cloud providing in there. Yeah. So there might be somewhat of a monopoly, but I think that them swaying away from Google and putting their more focus on NVDA is still going to be positive in the long run.
All right, I like it. Adara, what do you make of this? I mean, is it more kind of like what the article suggests, that they're really trying to de-emphasize their regulatory push on Google and more on NVIDIA, or are they really just genuinely trying to champion a domestic winner in chips and not having to rely on American tech?
Well, yeah, so for one, I just want to mention too, Jensen just answered a question saying that I think their technology teams have been talking for about a year. So I think that's also really trying to de-escalate any worries that this Intel and NVIDIA deal has anything to do with the Trump administration. And Jensen said apparently they've been in talk for something around a year. That's what I heard. But I do want to mention as well here with regards to Google, to answer the question, GeoGL. Yeah, I think honestly it does seem like a little bit de-escalatory. That would be my take. Like, China wants to make sure that this meeting goes well with Trump or this phone call or whatever on Friday. That's my interpretation. Yep. And I think it's weird because they're still escalating things with NVIDIA, but I do think NVIDIA, like right now, is their biggest kind of fight there with AI chips. They still want their own AI sovereignty, but I think Google maybe threatens that a bit less. So they're like, okay, we're going to keep the NVIDIA chip. issue going, but hey, we'll give you this Google as a compromise. I don't know. That's my take potentially. But I mean, Google liked it pre-market, so that's cool.
All right, thank you, Adara. So Dijon, you bring a really good point. He's like, China needs ASML 2 nanometer to make their chips close to AMD and NVIDIA. You are 100% accurate, but what I'm reading now coming out of China is that they're basically using less sophisticated chips in larger clusters. They're stringing 500,000, 400,000 of these things together instead of, say, 100,000 H100s, and they're getting similar results with inferior technology. Whether you believe that or not, those are the reports that are coming out of China. So to me, it's not circumventing ASML, but it's adjusting to the current situation until they can get their own domestic producer of ultraviolet lithography, which is very hard to make, as we know, Joey. So that's, well, I believe it put more power and money into it. That's kind of what I've been reading, Dijon. Whether or not it's accurate, we'll have to wait and see. Guys, LASE is flying here, man.
Wow.
Absolutely flying. It's gonna break $5. It's a $4.97 high. It consolidated for all of like 20 minutes at 4.5, and it's rocketing right back up. So keep your eye out on this one. So that's what I just want to point that out. Shout out to Jag. I see what you're saying there, Jag. Don't know how far China will be able to make a new GPU. Yeah, we'll see. Shout out to Ozane as well, the OG Ozane. Let's go on to the next topic, Joey, because quantum has been super strong lately. Ionic, IONQ surges on U.S. Department of Energy quantum in-space collaboration. Let's talk a little bit about this. So they announced a memorandum of understanding, an MOU, with the Department of Energy. Here's the initiative. The Department of Energy's Quantum in Space, like outer space, program aims to deploy next-generation quantum technology in orbit.
Hey, man. We're busy, man.
She's wild, bro.
In
orbit, IonQ will design and execute an orbital demonstration of secure communications via its satellite program. The collaboration is expected to explore alternative navigation systems, timing, synchronization, secure networking, as well, of course, as quantum sensing. This could support, Joey, critical functions like space exploration, advanced manufacturing, and defense-related use cases. It all seems very futuristic when we talk about quantum, but hey, man, look, they're actually doing it.
I'm sure a lot of things at some point seem extremely futuristic, Sharif, as we speak of the present. As for Ethereum, guys, we'll touch on this here quick before we get into some of the quantum names, because I know Carter in the chat was talking about them. Take another little pop right there, starting to piece some more out. I don't got anything really left, just about a couple percentage points. So no, yeah, I mean, as for the quantum space, it's been extremely hot, especially in the likes of IonQ. If we head over to this, to their daily, it's moving sideways now, but you can get some nice pre-market action. And there's a couple sessions where this thing was just absolutely off to the races, and more than a couple, right? You're getting a handful, so it's really great and really strong. The spaces, that is. Look at this breakout. Oh my God! Did you see this from a daily?
No, I didn't see that on the daily. That's insane. Look at the higher lows and the flat top break.
Yeah, brother. Like, I mean, if you head over to this low, 34
beauty,
bucks,
Joey.
from August 20th, you're already up over 100%. So that's some really good look here. I mean, the space is booming. Obviously, you have to be slightly forward-looking with it, but other than that, it seems extremely in play. Let's get into RGTI and a couple of these other names. Another monstrous breakout. This is insane. And I've been looking at these, been on my swing trading reserve. So we have QUBT slightly lagging, and then QBTS as well. We'll take a look at that one. But as for Rigetti and IonQ, insane, as well as D-Wave here, guys. Look at this breakout in the space. When we talk about names being in play, this is it right here. Quantum space at the forefront. And man, oh man, it would have been great to get involved at these lows. November of 24, if you knew about them, which I personally did not. You'd be living a pretty healthy lifestyle.
Did you shout out to the super chat, Jay Cyrus? Okay, fantastic. We'll do that now. Shout out to Jay Cyrus with a $5 super chat. Shout out to my man Jay. Here's what he says. I'm very new to trading. Is there any reason a stock like DVLT with 260 million in volume stays flatlined like it is now? Could be a buyout. Let's have a look. DVLT. Okay, you're talking about this. Yeah, well, the volume was done over here,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And look, it's a 40 penny name as well. So the volume on Devolt, as you said, 266 million shares. You can see on the volume bars though, brother, where the volume took place. A lot of volume in the pre. Look at this one here. This candle over here on its own at 8 a.m., the institutional prints had 26.5 million shares. So yeah, I can totally see that. Yeah, now look at the volume profile. It's declining substantially on that. So I don't think that that's unusual, especially south of $1. That typically does happen. Guys, I need to digress again and let you know that LASE just took out 5. It is a 533 high of day. We were involved in this one all day until that $4 area. It's really going now. 533 high, up about 86%. And looking to go more, we could see a squeeze into 6. So
sorry, Sharif, sorry to interrupt. Oh my days! Look at the crypto space go here. Yeah, this is a big time move. Yeah, look at that big pop heading right back towards the high of the day. Sorry, continue.
Of course, absolutely, Joey. We're gonna go to Adair. She's got news.
I mean, ARM is getting mentioned like quite a lot here by Jensen Huang during this conference. He said that like they're going to work on building out of a lot more ARM. ARM is something that they're going to be working on here. As you can see, ARM reacting to this news. The ARM roadmap is going to continue, says CEO Jensen Huang of NVIDIA. He also said that TSMC's capabilities are, quote, like magic. So Jensen Huang speaking very positively here about both NVIDIA and Taiwan Semi. With regards to the quantum story, I just had Rigetti's daily chart up, so we'll talk about that. I'll pull that back up for a second. I mean, I think it's always nice, like when you have a name moving, not just on sympathy, but it's on its own catalyst as well. I find with these quantum stories, you get one and then you get another one and then you get another one. So I think right now they're in a really nice push to the upside. This daily chart, much like IONQs, beyond this breakout, looks nice. We had a build into the breakout. So, I mean, good look for quantum. We'll have to see if this maintains. But right now, the stories and the momentum seem to be positive.
Thank you for that. All right, let's go on to Apple eyeing a Taiwan pilot line for foldable iPhone production. Let's find out what they're talking about. Apple apparently reportedly in discussions with suppliers to establish a pilot production line in Taiwan for foldable iPhones. The company aims to manufacture about 95 million iPhones for 2026, the highest in years, which would account for about a 10% year-over-year growth rate for that. The pilot program would involve testing equipment, fine-tuning processes, and building capabilities for large-scale production. The move aligns with Apple's broader strategy, kind of reduce their reliance on China, obviously with Donald Trump really putting pressure on them to do so. The process is also expected to be replicated, I should say, in India for the large-scale manufacturing. We know that most now U.S.-destined iPhones are coming from India, so any new production process that they get started will have to be replicatable in India. So we'll have to see how that ends up, happening. A lot was made about the technical expertise being in China, not India. I personally don't know that to be the case, but those are the reports that I've read. Apple expects foldable models to drive incremental demand across the iPhone lineup. We saw the Slim drop this year. We're widely expecting the foldable one to be dropped last year. And Apple's Taiwan-India pivot kind of complements its record $600 billion investment in the U.S. manufacturing. The investment includes, Joey, 79 new factories and is seen as sort of as a domino effect for growth. Whether or not demand for the iPhone 17 is actually ahead of the 16, which was some of the reports that we've been seeing is that the wait times a little bit higher this year than they were last year. So a nice little bump.
No, this is what I was talking about the other day as well, too, is that you're looking for about 15% growth in the sales to enter that super cycle mode. We're not there just yet, but I mean, I think you're going to see high single digits within the iPhone 17 sales, which is going to be extremely positive. Is the iPhone foldable going to be a needle mover? I don't
think in North America, man. I see a lot of people in China love the foldables. I rarely see foldables here. Do you?
No,
Rarely.
no, very,
Right?
very rarely. But see, that's the thing. That's what I think can make it somewhat of a game changer, right? Like
Apple gets into it?
right? It's Apple,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then once the trend catches, it's hard to stop
That's
the
a good point,
momentum,
bro.
right?
That's a good
So it's like, hey, everybody has their iPhone. Well, guess what? I got the iPhone foldable, and then now just being in the competitive environment that we live with here within here in Toronto, people are going to probably want to start mimicking and doing doing that as well too. But as for super cycle, we're not there just yet. Is the iPhone foldable potentially going to lead that? But I think that's still a ways down the road. Obviously, 17 looking pretty good. Foldable.
Mine
Let's
shipped,
see.
eh?
Yeah.
It shipped.
Shipped.
I got
it
the message.
tomorrow.
Yeah, it's gonna probably come tomorrow.
Yeah.
I was hoping it would come today so I could bring it to work tomorrow,
Very
but
good.
I guess
Set it
it'll be Monday.
Navy blue. You got a case with it and
Yeah,
everything?
clear case, so it shows off
All
the
right,
blue,
so it
Joey.
shows off the blue.
All right, Adara, what do you I like that.
that's right.
What do you make of this new Taiwan process for the foldable iPhone? Nothing, Burger?
I mean, probably nothing. It's weird too. They just keep going from geopolitically fraught place to geopolitically fraught place, right? They leave China because there's too much tension in China. They go to India, a place that Trump was so upset they were going to for manufacturing that he actually refused to name the country during his weird golden meeting with Tim Cook. And then he's going to Taiwan, which obviously has its own geopolitical context here with China, right? So it's kind of odd how they keep hip-hopping from place to place. I will mention as well, though, with the foldable phone, I think it's a good look with regards to Apple's competition in China. Because we know that Apple is not always necessarily doing the best in China, and China does have, as far as I understand, a little bit more of a market for the foldable phone. Maybe it'll do well there. I'm going to pass. I had a flip phone or whatever, foldable phone at one point in my life, and I don't know who benefits from those, truthfully. I mean, maybe the touchscreen aspect gives it like a less old man or like impossible feel, but we'll have to wait and see. Also, guys, NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang and Intel CEO Lip Butan still speaking. NVIDIA CEO saying that the return on Intel's investment will be fantastic, or sorry, the return on their investment in Intel is going to be fantastic. So he is very, very jazzed about this investment. Back to you.
Thank you, Adara. I have a bit of a different take on the India angle. I think Apple got a specific exemption for semiconductors as well as bringing in their products, despite the fact that Donald doesn't like production in India. In addition to that, I think manufacturing the iPhone in India allows Apple to hit two birds with one stone. They de-emphasize their reliance on China, and they start tapping one of the largest untapped markets, at least for advanced phones, which is obviously India. We know Tesla would definitely want to get into India, and he's been negotiating, Musk has been negotiating with Modi for some time. And so I think the next frontier for a huge market is definitely India. And I think it's a good strategic move for Apple to do two things: de-emphasize, again, China, and set, sort of
I mean, they did
a little bit of an entry there.
They opened up an Apple store in there a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So.
No, but India's had this very long-standing policy. You want to sell here, you got to build here. Very similar to the States, but they don't prohibit you from selling. Tesla falls under that category. Obviously, iPhones are also subject to heavy tariffs, so they're very expensive in India. By building them there, you could capture an entirely new TAM, a total addressable market that brings the price back down. So that's just kind of my take there. Let's keep going.
And it's growth within the company as well, too.
Oh, no question. No question. We'll have to see, though. Donald Trump can be quite mercurial. So he likes, it's okay to build it in India now, and you're not getting slapped with tariffs, or you're circumventing that 50% tariffs they have on India. But, tomorrow could be a different case.
He wants a piece of the pie.
Well, he may just want you to build locally, and he's giving you enough time, in his opinion, and then all of a sudden you're 25% tariffs right away on Apple. Who knows what he could do, right? Let's talk about Novo Nordisk. However, obesity pill show strong phase 3 results. So let's talk about this, because this is actually a possible game changer here. They announced a late stage phase 3 Oasis 4 trial results for its once daily obesity pill. The pill demonstrated average weight reduction of 16.4% after 64 weeks, aligning closely with its injection form of Wegovy. Very similar results between the oral and the injectable. acceptable. The oral format is seen sort of as a key patient-friendly alternative to the weekly injections that are currently, in vogue, which increases accessibility. And they emphasize that the efficacy and the tolerability are very comparable to the injection. So you're not really changing how it's metabolized and everything by taking it orally, at least from what I can read here. The decision is expected. The decision is expected in Q4 of 2025. The FDA is approving the once daily pill. If approved, production will be fully U.S. based, which is great because Donald Trump has talked about pharmaceutical tariffs being the next wave. So making them in the States, clearly they've got a leg up here. Let's talk about the race that's heating up right now between Novo Nordisk and Lilly. Currently, there's no FDA-approved oral GLP-1, as we know. Rival Eli Lilly's is also in phase 3 trials and could be fast-tracked under an initiative by Donald Trump. However, Novo's pill showed 17% weight loss potential compared to the 12% showed by Lilly's oral pill. So at least for now, from what we see in the late stage 3 trial, is that Novo's is doing better. Lilly recently reported its pill outperformed Novo's in blood sugar reduction, but not weight loss. So one oral seems to be better for the sugar and diabetics, and the other seems to be a little bit better for weight loss.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Before we step into that, for my guy Adam, healing pain naturally, there it is on SoFi, looking absolutely fantastic. Even on the daily, there we go. Dude, I just did this. This is insane. 230% from those April lows. Crazy. Hopefully you've been holding on for that long. Now, let's hop into some Novo Nordisk. I mean, the healthcare sector has just been absolutely getting beaten to a pulp over the past year, a little bit more than that. And if I'm going to compare this to what Eli Lilly's up to, none of them look overly attractive whatsoever. Is this going to turn the ship around? I don't know. What was the statistic, Sharif, that the layoffs at, was it like the layoffs at Novo Nordisk are going to actually
9,000.
Yeah, are going to actually affect the GDP of the country.
Of Denmark, yes.
Denmark, which is absolutely insane. So for me personally, it's kind of like so you got to think of it as when there's blood in the streets, I think that's when you really want to start to get involved. But will these GLPs be an absolute monster of a needle mover for these companies? I think so, especially once you start taking that oral pill. People don't like the injectables. We talked about that for quite some time. But that's still quite a way that you have to go to just even get back to break even. You're still down 55%. So essentially you need over 100% return in Novo Nordisk just to get back to break even. So it's really tough. But blood in the streets, I would slowly start to grab some. And if it continues to break down, just get out.
All right, just before we go to Dara, I want to point out LASE back into the highs, 555 high of day. It's up 94% and looking at going a little bit more. Trade it carefully, but it's very strong and very directional. What do you make of this, Adara? These are two names that you keep your eye on a lot, Lilly and Novo Nordisk. What do you make of it?
I mean, they're both super boring, like just from an intraday perspective right now. I always say this, Novo Nordisk is honestly probably the least interesting stock to trade on news. If it, gaps up pre-market, because usually it'll give up the gap, but not even in like a fun way. It'll just kind of chop. Today, I checked the chart. It looks the same. I want to talk here about Magyar Mike Dustar for a second, though. He's been CEO since about July. The stock since the ouster of former CEO Lars Fruergaard Jorgensen, it's down about 16%. This was as of last week, so this could have changed slightly. But either way, Magyar Mike Dustar does have to deal with the fact that there's a lot of wealth destruction, for lack of better terms, especially near the end of Lars Fruergaard Jorgensen's tenure. But yeah, I mean, I think just contextually, you have to keep that in mind. We know Magyar really wants to turn things around. We're going to have to wait and see if that is, in fact, the case. But right now, he seems like a solid choice for CEO. He's making clear, immediate change right away. And the fact that they're having positive results in addition to the efforts that he's making, I think it's a good look. I want to talk as well, though, because Lilly had its own weight loss-related catalyst, just briefly. This is interesting. I didn't even realize they were doing this. They did a study on Mounjaro, which is their weight loss drug, in children. to see how, or sorry, that's their diabetes one, how it helps children and adolescents aged 10 to 17 years old with type 2 diabetes. This is actually the first study, it was actually sponsored by Lilly, to actually look at how these drugs impact kids. But apparently this data has actually been submitted to global regulators by Eli Lilly because they're looking to expand the use of Mounjaro for kids. So I think, yeah, interesting catalyst, just to answer your question, Sharif, as someone who follows both stocks. I like that we had catalyst today for both of these. And I think, again, with Novo Nordisk, it is always worth remembering, as you mentioned in your notes there, the larger catalyst here of Maziar Magdustar in his first couple months as CEO. Let's see how he stacks up.
Well said, Adara. Let's go on to the next topic. Tesla considers the redesign of door handles amid the safety probe. Feels like a nothing burger here, but, you know, any design changes could cost the company some downtime and some money. So the chief design officer, Franz von Holzhausen, confirmed the company is considering a redesign of its electronic door handles, combining both manual and electronic releases into one system. Currently, they're separate. There is a release on the Model Y, but it's kind of hidden inside the door storage area. The redesign follows increasing scrutiny from regulators, Joseph, and authorities in China and the U.S. over the safety risks of fully electric-only door handles.
All right, guys, new traders, listen up. First month, free. That's right. We're waiving fees. Trade smarter, not harder. Upgrade to Elite, analyze, strategize, capitalize. Our platform, it's everything. Infinite data, instant trading, lightning fast market insights, game-changing charts, predict with backtesting, reliable real-time data, global markets at your fingertips, all in one platform. Don't miss out now. Execute your best trades, ready to elevate your trading. Scan the QR code or check the link in the description.
You know what Chilean Nightmare just pointed out to me?
What did he say?
We have a poll up over here which has 1,600 votes,
yes,
Joey,
sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
But when I take a look at the likes, why are the likes like 1,000 less than... I mean, I'm okay with it, but Chilean Nightmare and Assassino get very upset. So if you guys, it'd be great if you could hit the like button, let the algorithm know that you're down with
or we could just shut it down right now.
No, don't be like that. Joey, we can't do
I'm going to be like
Joey?
that, Joey. We're going to shut it down unless those likes get up, and then that's it.
Hit that like button, guys. It would really help out the channel. We do appreciate you guys. Let's go on with the Tesla story. Tesla is prepared to make the necessary safety modifications, suggesting the new design will be a really good solution. That's in quotes. So just to explain why this is even being talked about, the U.S. National Highway Traffic and Safety Authority is investigating 174,000 Model Y vehicles after reports that occupants, including children, were unable to exit the car due to the electronic lock failure. Some owners actually reported having to break the windows and to regain access. At the same time, China's also considering banning flush electric door handles altogether, citing safety risks. A potential ban in China could take effect in 2027. And another, kind of very similar look there was with Ford when they recalled 197,000 Mustang Mach-E's due to electronically powered doors that were trapping rear seat passengers, Joey. So this is not something new that we've been talking about, but something that, could put the Model Y, off production for like a week while they retool. Not exactly sure how this is all going to go down.
Yeah, it's very interesting stuff and slightly scary as well, too. You don't want to be locked in the vehicle when you have something very, very bad potentially going on. Let's see if those likes got up. But as for Tesla, I think it's fantastic what's been going on with this stock. I know our good friend Ozan has the risk reversal on this one right now. Redesign, it can shut down production for a while, but I mean, Sharif, is it that bad when you have kind of sales across the globe really starting to really dwindle? So I'm sure some downtime isn't going to be the be-all, end-all, considering you're losing sales in everywhere except for your home country. So not too bad, but I like Tesla, what it's been up to. Hopefully this move can be sustained and it's not just smoke and mirrors.
All right, Adara, nothing burger, or is this, trying to get ahead of things here with the NHTSA breathing down their neck about these 175,000 Model Ys?
So I do think it's a nothing burger, but I do not think they're trying to get ahead of things. If they were, they would probably try to get ahead of them before the NHTSA announced the probe. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I don't know. I do still think it's a nothing burger. Hopefully they get this resolved. I like the idea that Franz von Holzhausen has a plan. I would like more details as to what that plan is. But, I mean, that's neither here nor there. Also with Tesla today, we did have Robin Denholm, chair of the board. She issued a letter to shareholders really encouraging them to vote in favor of Tesla's pay package. Elon Musk said that the meeting on November 6th is going to be special. So just updates there as well. This November 6th meeting could be very consequential. As someone who is arguably too tapped into Tesla bull Twitter, I'll follow you guys with all those updates and keep you posted as well. But this could be really exciting here.
Reddit in early talks with Google on content sharing deals. So Reddit stock pared losses after reports it's in early talks with Alphabet on a new content sharing agreement. The discussions may actually include a new deal structure for licensing Reddit's content to both Google and OpenAI. Reddit's already secured about $60 million a year from both deals with Google and OpenAI to use its data to train its AI models. And it's been decent here. Shares are up about 45% in the past 3 months, and they're up 600%, guys, since they IPO'd in March of last year, 2024. The licensing AI content really is becoming a key growth driver for Reddit, with projected 2025 revenue from these sales to account for about a little bit less than $150 million, about $141 million, which is about 7% of Reddit's projected net sales. Reddit is also exploring what they're calling dynamic pricing models for AI licensing. So that would allow them to charge higher rates to Google and OpenAI and whoever else to become, or as its content, I should say, becomes more vital for training. So it looks like as if, Joey, they're going to weasel in with different price packages. Go ahead, Adira.
Press conference over. Press conference done.
Thank you. So yeah, what do you make of this?
I think it's pretty interesting, right? Like, so again, Reddit's numbers on the last report were actually pretty good. And for me personally, I don't use it that often. I think the digital ad rev was up, and then obviously user growth was still there and being sustained. And I think the forecasts were pretty good as well too. But as for the Google content stuff, I think it's great. Google just doing what it's going to continuously do and just be a complete beast in the space. Reddit has been a monster as of late. If you've seen its daily price action, it's crazy. Like, yes, this is the daily. This isn't intraday. This is a daily chart of what we got going on. A big-time breakup, and then even today, adding towards that momentum. Gorev Los Pollos, look at this. I had this on my radar, and sure enough, it just rips up $50. So you got to take those shots. But as for Reddit, IPO, I remember this IPO here in 24, so not too bad of a look, considering it's punched through that previous peak, and I think it's going to continue to climb higher.
It's a beautiful looking chart, man.
It's
a beautiful
really
looking
good.
chart.
Yeah, I mean, content sharing deal with Google, I think is phenomenal. Digital ad revenue was up on Reddit as well, too. User base across the platform was up, so
well said.
It's a really good look, man.
All right, Adira, this was an interesting story in 23 and 24 where we heard, the New York Times, Wall Street Journal wanting to sue the likes of OpenAI for using their content without permission to train their LLMs. Now we're seeing this kind of thing take place where we're licensing our data to train these LLMs. Does that kind of put some of these lawsuits maybe behind us in terms of, starting out that way and then it's just going to be like a licensing agreement as a standard?
I mean, I think it's a good way of doing it, right? Because then you get the money if you are like the company licensing out your data, and then the other company, A, doesn't have to worry about getting sued, and B, gets access to the data. Now, the one thing that's annoying for the company that's trying to get the data is they'll have to pay now. But I mean, I don't know. I think it's fair. I think that with Reddit as well, what's interesting about it is you've got so many different sub-communities, some with a lot of, niche expertise. We've talked a lot about Randy and the, the various car subreddits, right? There's all these like random specific niches. I think not all of it's going to be relevant, but I think either way, it does make sense that Reddit wants this type of deal. And I think, if they negotiate terms that both parties agree with, I think it's a solid look actually for both companies. Again, only bad thing on Google's perspective is, they'll have to pay. But again, Google has the money where this should honestly not be that big of a concern for them. I do think it's a good look for Reddit. Reddit also, though, their CEO, in addition to the CEOs of Steam, Twitch, and Discord, they've all been asked to appear at a hearing for a House committee on October 8th Unclear if they've actually like agreed to that, but that's going to be more about content moderation in the light of last week's shooting. Just an update as well with regards to Reddit.
Interesting. Thank you, Adair. Happy birthday, Becky. That's all I can say there. Said happy birthday to herself, so we're going to shout her out and give her a happy birthday. Shout out to Becky. September 18th. Okay, nice day. Let's go on. Bullish swings to profit for the first public quarter. They've been, I guess, live on the markets for a few weeks now. So bullish, the cryptocurrency exchange that recently IPO'd posted a profit of about a little bit less than $110 million for Q2 ending June 30th. The company, this compares with a loss of about $116 million in change the same time a year ago. That marked a good turnaround, showing strength after the blockbuster IPO month. Just to give you an idea, stripping out one-time items, Bullish still posted an adjusted loss of about $6 million, but those are one-time items. They don't reoccur, so the market looking favorably upon that. Adjusted revenue came in at $57 million, but that is down year over year. They took in $60.7 million last year, so I don't know about that, but the core business remains volatile but shows stronger efficiency in operations. And we know how they make money, Joe. Digital asset sales totaled about $58.6 billion. That's up from $49.6. Trading volume reached about $180 billion, significantly higher than the $133 billion a year ago. So they did guide forward, not bad, forecasting Q3, $12 to $17 million in adjusted earnings and about $70 to $76 million in adjusted revenue, Joey. So bullish, IPOing not that long ago, and they, now they're a public company, so they got to report earnings like everybody else. And I kind of tell you, I didn't really expect them to turn a profit this year.
This quick, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good look. But I mean, think about the space just being extremely hot, Sharif. Obviously, with the Genius Act, Clarity Act, you got a lot of the financial companies starting to move their money, the whole systems onto the blockchain. I think this space is just continuously growing. You have the likes of Tom Lee buying Ethereum hand over fist, Michael Saylor. I think it's a massive structural change that we're starting to experience, and these cryptocurrency exchanges are going to be right there at the forefront. So we're not going to get too upset about that whatsoever, because I'm a big crypto advocate without any questioning there. 48% off of that IPO day high. It's going to take some time for this name to turn around.
Yeah, it's a big drop there.
It's going to take time. It's going to take some time
there.
It's great that they're starting to turn a profit. Everything's fantastic. But again, you got to be patient and wait for this one.
Let's talk about Darden Restaurants posting mixed Q1 results. So EPS came in at $1.97. That's a slight miss below the $2 expected. Net income, $257.8 million. That's up from $207 last year on revenue of $3.04 billion. That met the street's expectations. Here's what they have: many different segments. Let's talk about the different segments they had. Olive Garden, which is about over 40% of their total revenue, posted about 6% same-store sales growth, outperforming the group. Longhorn Steakhouse also up 5.5% with same-store sales. Other segments that we're talking about: Cheddar, Scratch Kitchen, Yard House, that grew at about 3.33%. And their fine dining actually showed a decline of 0.2% year over year, but better than what Wall Street was expecting, which was basically a 1% decline year over year. I wonder why fine dining would be down. I thought the wealthy weren't really hurting there. Now, they are acquiring, and their growth is being helped by that. So the growth was supported by the acquisition of Choi's Tex-Mex, completed last October. Same-store sales metrics exclude I think I'm saying that right, Choi's, and Bahama Breeze. Strategic focus remains on Olive Garden and Longhorn as core revenue drivers, Joey. Not a company I know too much about. What is the technicals?
I don't even know the ticker. I don't even know the ticker.
DRI.
Is it DRI?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we don't have Olive Garden here, do we?
No, we don't.
Yeah, we don't have.
Jeez, that's ugly. Look at that gap down there.
Yeah, that's a big time. But hey, listen, I like this for a potential bounce. Be patient on this one. You have this massive gap down. right? And then you're having that indecision print with also the volume signature. Watch out for this. I really, really like that for a potential bounce signal. Longhorn Steakhouse we don't have. Olive Garden we don't have. I heard it's pretty good. I'm pretty sure it's unlimited bread there that you get. I know Shreve won't like that, but unlimited bread there on Olive Garden. Whatever it may be. But as for some of these restaurants, if you look at the grand scheme of things, it's not actually horrible. This is a bad report or something bad going on here with it, considering you do have that massive gap down here within the intraday price action, so a little bit more than 10%. But I would be looking to grab a little bit down up because I like those volume price analysis signals for sure.
Bro, I'd make a quick trip down to Niagara Falls for a Longhorns right now. A big.
Is there one in Niagara Falls?
Oh, maybe on the other side.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
But
yeah,
usually on the Canadian side, they have a bunch of American chains that we don't have here because they have so many Americans coming, right?
Like there's Denny's down there.
There's Denny's, yeah.
There's
a bunch. Yeah, exactly. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
IHOP, yeah.
Let's talk about Netscope, Joey. That's the IPO. We're going to show them what the IPO looks like real quick over here. Assassino, it's still up about 19.4% from the IPO price, which is $19. The opening print, though, for this name was $23. We popped up as high as $24.40. We've been as low as $21.90, and now we're at $22.70. So still technically up about 19.4%. Here's what this IPO is. As I mentioned, the shares were priced at $19 per share. The top end of the range, valuing the company about $7.3 billion. The offering raised a little less than $1 billion for the company, and the stock will debut. It debuted already. It's on the Nasdaq under ticker NTSK. The price range was actually raised from the earlier range there of 15 to 17 up to 17 to 19, and then it ended up closing at 19. The higher end of the second range, which shows good demand there. In case you don't know too much about the company, here's some information. Founded back in 2012 in Santa Clara, Netscope has grown to about a little bit less than 3,000 employees and about 4,300 customers across 90 countries. The company's platform spans IT security, networking. It competes directly with the likes of Broadcom, Cisco, Palo Alto, and Zscaler. Their annual recurring revenue surged about 33% year over year to about $707 million by the end of this past July, with about $328 million in revenue in the first half of the year alone. However, Joey, the company still posting a net loss of about $170 million, highlighting obviously the profitability challenges common to these fast-growing cybersecurity companies, Joey.
I mean, I like the cybersecurity space. I know we don't have much data to go on with obviously NTSK, but we go into the likes of my friend, he loves this name here, Pan W. And then we have the likes of CrowdStrike as well too. What a bounce off of these lows here, man, in CrowdStrike.
Crowd's up big today.
Bigly, brother. And they get, whoa, okay. That's all right, yeah. Damn. All right, get it. There it is. I do those too. I dare those big stretches. Shreve knows about those. You're up 7% almost on CrowdStrike.
CrowdStrike's up 12.33% on the day. On the day.
Yeah. So 25% off of those lows here. So that's some big time stuff. I'm going to be honest with you, Shreve. I like CrowdStrike a little bit more than PanDub, just because I think the price action's a little bit cleaner, right? Like if you go to PanDub, obviously two great companies, and then you go to CrowdStrike, I like this a little bit more. And then Zscaler, also, we know someone else who's involved with Zscaler. Wow, look at this run that it was on from those April lows, 94.9%. And a nice hammer candle off of those lows on ZS. Now from that pivot, you're up 11%. I like cybersecurity.
Sounds good. Dara, what do you make of this new IPO?
Honestly, I like that we're actually bouncing off the low. A lot of these, they'll drop and they'll just drop all day. If they drop on the day one IPO, by that I mean Stub was a good example of that. Bullish was another good example of that. So, I mean, and the fact that NTSK, yes, it did drop, but the fact that it's holding as well as it is, I think is not a bad look. But yeah, I mean, I think as well, with cybersecurity, it's clearly a good day for it. CrowdStrike had its own catalyst with regards to the whole, their acquisition there of Pangea, which I believe we already knew about, but we had a lot of analyst notes on this, so many analyst notes, all of them, as far as I could see, were bullish, maintaining or raising their price target. So I think, clearly the landscape right now for these names is pretty bullish with the Netscope IPO, regardless of how it was received. Here's Zscaler still holding up relatively well. We just looked at CrowdStrike. Palo Alto Network still doing well. Take a look at Fortinet. I just typed in F. That's not Fort, it's Fortinet. Fortinet, a little choppier, right? So some of these names in the cybersecurity space are hot, they're on watch, and I think it was a nice landscape beyond the fact that the IPO area has been so hot. I think it's a good cybersecurity landscape for Netscope to debut in as well.
Sounds good. Let's go on to the last topic here. Fed cuts rates, signals more easing ahead. Let the controversy begin. All right, Federal Reserve, as we know, yesterday cut 25 bips, 0.25% interest rate cut, lowering the federal funds target range to 4 to 4.25, the lowest in nearly 3 years. The move was widely expected by the markets, but markets focused heavily on the dot plot projections for those future cuts. So let's talk about said dot plot. The committee projects 2 more cuts in this year, 1 possibly in 26 and then 1 in 2027. This path would bring rates down to about 3%, which the Fed views as the neutral rate. The neutral rate obviously is the comparison between the rate of inflation and the current Fed's fund rate. No cuts are projected for 2028, at least as of yesterday's dot plot, highlighting the Fed's longer-term cautious stance. The market reacted quite well, but some of the markets were down. The Dow was up 260 points. The Nasdaq and the S&P slipped a little bit. Treasury yields fell on the short end, but rose for longer maturities. We've been talking about that, the 20-year and the 30-year. But there's also a bit of risk management here. So Chair Jerome Powell described the move as a risk management cut, balancing what he calls inflation control with the weakening labor market that he's been seeing over the past number of months as we've been getting those NFPs and ADPs. Despite promising 2 more cuts in 25, Powell did emphasize a slower pace in later years, creating a mixed sentiment among traders. Markets are now pricing in cuts, Joey, for October and December meetings. But there was obviously political dynamics at play as well as a dissent. So let's talk about that. The meeting was the first for now new governor Stephen Myron, who voted against the 1/4 point basis cut in favor of a larger 50 basis points cut. The 10-9 split among Fed members over whether to cut once or twice this year highlights the internal divisions which were addressed by Chair Powell in his questions, where he said, there is varying opinions on the committee, but he did expect that given the current state of economic conditions. Analysts suggest Fed members may have circled the wagons, so to speak, to present unity against Myron's more aggressive stance. But here's what I want to say to you.
Yeah.
If we know that Waller and Bowman are some of the candidates being interviewed to replace Jerome Powell now, neither of them voted for a 50 basis points cut.
Yeah.
They both voted for 25. So if they were trying to audition for Donald Trump to make Donald Trump happy so that they could secure the Fed president's job, do you think it would have stood to reason that they would have voted like the new governor, Stephen Moran, for 50 basis points? But that didn't happen.
No, it did not.
So I guess the question then is, all the questions and speculation about Fed independence being dead, is it?
No, and that's exactly what I was going to lead to. I'm glad that these guys, obviously Bowman and Waller, didn't vote for the 50 bips, because that just signifies that, the Fed wants to stay independent. And I think that's extremely, extremely important. I'm glad that we got that 25 bips, and there's somewhat of a dovish outlook. I think it was kind of a mixed bag from what I listened to the conference yesterday. But I like that they're holding their ground, because rightfully so, we don't want the government and Donald Trump to control what the Fed does at the end of the day.
All right, Adara, what do you make of this?
Sorry, I just had a bite of food there. Yeah, I mean, I have thoughts on this. So I also want to mention Kevin Hassett commented on Stephen Myron's vote, saying that he put heartfelt analysis into it. The word he used was heartfelt. I'm just dying to know why that was the word used. It's neither here nor there. But I want to know how economic analysis can be heartfelt. asking for a friend. But either way, I mean, I think it was not a surprise. I think it'd be more surprising if Stephen Myron voted with the group. For his part, Jerome Powell was very coy and very diplomatic about the whole thing. They asked him what was it like to have him in the room during the press conference, and Fed Powell said it's always great to welcome a new Fed to the room and to the meeting. So I will give him props for that. You know, with regards to Bowman and Waller, I've said this before and I'll say it again. I think that as much as, you know, they're arguably auditioning for that Fed chair position, Bowman has basically said she doesn't even want it. She was just, by Trump, appointed to be vice chair of supervision. She's chilling. She doesn't need to be Fed chair, right? And she's more or less said she's not super interested. She hasn't denied it the way Bessent has, but she's been not super interested in it. Now, Waller, for his part, also said that, well, he would be considering a 50 basis point cut in September. He said this prior to the meeting. He wants to do that based on the data. So I think both of them have shown that they can and will be unbiased. And I think that the fact they both voted for 50 bips in July, I feel like I view as less political and more what they voted for 25 bips in July. The fact that they voted for 25 bips in July when the rest of the Fed voted to hold rates, I view that as less political and more they thought that was the right thing to do at the time. And even Fed's Daily, after the July meeting, said she even thought, hey, maybe it's about time to cut. So they were not the only Feds who kind of thought, you know, we're nearing that time for cut. That's obvious, A, because we got to cut this meeting, and B, because other Feds made similar statements. So long story short, to stop blathering on here, I don't view Bowman or Waller as being politically biased here. And I mean, Myron, if there's heartfelt analysis to just a 50 basis point cut, then I understand you have to vote how you vote.
Did you guys both see, to both of you, did you guys see what David, I couldn't remember his name. David Zervos, he said he thinks that there should be a 75 bips cut.
Well, it's because he wants to be a Fed chair. He doesn't want to be a Fed chair.
This guy's wild.
He wants to be the Fed chair, and he's been saying, like he's been on, you know, CNBC and all that, making the case. Same with another dude that's been considered, Mark Summerlin. They're both in consideration for the Fed chair position. So,
but what we've been hearing consistently, especially from the mainstream media, is that the new Fed chair is going to be a puppet of Donald Trump. What are you going to do as soon as you get into office? You are going to cut rates as I've instructed you to cut. So the question is, are Waller and Bowman, who, whether you say they want the job or not, they are being interviewed and they are candidates for the job. Are they just appearing neutral for the sake of appearing neutral before they go into office, or is the Fed actually an independent institution because they didn't vote the way that Donald Trump would have wanted them to vote, and we saw how he wanted to vote vis-a-vis Steve, Myron. So that's really what the kind of the thing that I can't reconcile in my head. So perhaps you have thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think I made my thoughts clear. I don't think, and you guys know I'm the type of person, I don't want to speculate too much until I have the facts, but based on what they've said, all we can really do, as you've said, Sharif, is take what they've done and kind of analyze it, right? I'm going to take it at face value until I have reason to not take it at face value. I don't know about Waller, but I know for Bowman, she said that she's not interested in the position, regardless of it, you know, she is being interviewed. But if she doesn't want the position, then I don't think she has any motivation to kind of stir things up here. I think the fact that they both voted, that they were both like, you know, I guess the most recent dissenting vote after, like double dissent after a 30-year period, I think that got a lot of heads rolling, especially because they were both already in talks to be the Fed chair. And I think the timing of that maybe got things a little bit, you know, more muddy and tinfoil hat than they necessarily needed to be. I mean, that's just my opinion, though, right? I think that all in all, based on, especially Fed Waller has been a lot more candid about it. He really did believe at the time that there was a reason to cut rates in July. He also at one point was advocating for the 50 basis point cut in September. And with that in mind, especially because Myron voted, I believe the fact that he didn't vote for the 50 bip cut at the September meeting with Myron is because he didn't see a case for it. Because he said, I'm down for 50 unless something changes in the data. If you view as something changes in the data, I actually find this to be consistent.
Thank you, Dara.
Good stuff. Yeah, guys, $200.
Oh, my God.
$200 Canadian dollars.
That's crazy.
200 snow pesos right there.
Snow pesos.
Right. 15 CrowdStrike, 450 calls at the lows. took some profits today. Lunch and beer.
Oh.
Lunch and beer. I'm saying it twice.
Take a picture.
I'm gonna take a picture.
We need earmark.
Lunch and beer. I'll screenshot it on me since Neil and Sean didn't seem to like the lunch today. Thank you, JT.
Oh.
I know it's not John Tavares or Justin Timberlake, but thank you, my good friend, for those 200 Canadian dollars, and we'll be sure to hold them accountable. And maybe for Mike Peter Ryder and company, we crack a wobbly on Friday.
Send him off, Joey.
All right, no, fantastic day, guys. We rock and rolled, fantastic session. Crypto space was moving. A lot of the big names, NVDA, INTC, lots of things in play. It's Friday tomorrow. Keep it cool, guys.
Bang. See ya. Big boys that way.